to worry about how many times we're going to run it.
Welcome everybody to another exciting edition of Texas Card House Live, coming to you from Austin on this action-packed Friday night. My name's Greg Potter. I'm going to be doing another solo cast for you guys, filling in for Mr. Youngblood and Aaron down here at Austin tonight. First time I've been doing Austin stream, so it's really exciting for me. I'm going to get this started right here at the beginning. Looks like we're doing the bomb pots of a sort.
I like they're all like their bios are all the same. Like, I'm looking for the man of my dreams. You can be that for dozens of them. You are the man of their dreams.
Looking like PLO, guys. We got 1, 2, 5 no limit hold'em tonight. 3 blind game. I believe it was a 500 max buy-in. You can then match the stack up to 75%. Apologies in advance for any sound problems we might be having. Doing casting from a distance inevitably brings a slight dip in quality, but not a dip in quality on the action. That is for certain. It looks like this is straight up a PLO bomb pot single board. Club draw on board. Shane in there. 4 mystery cards per the moment. And Declan getting in there with the nut flush draw. Anderson, top set of kings, going to raise it up here on this dynamic board texture. Does not want to give cheap cards. There are lots of turns that are bad for his hand. Any club, any 10, any jack, ace, or queen, bringing in the Broadway draws. It looks like we see Shane repot it here and ship it all in for $4.95 effective. Already getting it started with the action, and of course Anderson going to snap call with the top set, just the nuts for the moment. Though many cards change the fate of this hand, so let's see what the run out brings for us. Already getting money in the middle. First hand of the night. Shane up against middle set here. Unfortunate. I'm sure Anderson is glad he raised it up on the flop, got a lot of things out of the middle, cleaned up the equity a bit, and is going to scoop the first pot of the night, already hitting a clean double up for the man. So unfortunate, Shane on the first hand, already getting his stack in with middle set there, but don't blame him at all. That is, even in PLO, that's a bit of a poor situation.
I mean, I had ace 5-4 of clubs. If I had 2, I'd probably call, but I had 3.
Checks on live.
So like,
thank you, sir.
blocking myself,
Okay.
and I don't want to get felt on the first hand.
C2 is adding 250 to the stack. Checks, C2. 500. Yep, C6 is 500. And C2 is
Every time I play one, I'm like, man, if I would have just turned my brain off and shut that would have No, yeah, I was like, oh, I need 4 ounces.
I love how you're like, yeah, I'll do that too.
Getting into the first 2-card hand. Let's see if we see just as much action with the 2-card game as we did with the 4. Got Bryson here in the small blind, going to raise it up. Queen 4 of clubs. We're going to see a call here, pretty natural call here from Luke with pocket 5s. The split cam going. Let's see what the flop brings us. Huge flop for Queen 4 of clubs. No club on board, though. He's open-ended.
Oh, my bad.
Probably going to take this one down with a single bet on the flop. And that is just the result we see. Bryson taking down the first pot of the 2-card game. Open-ended straight draw on the flop.
Monster.
straddle, right side.
Third blind.
3 blinds game.
Fuck it.
It's not a mandatory
I will
straddle.
call it a mandatory.
Call it what you want, it's just wrong.
And that's
That's
what they do with Dallas, though.
Blame
Well,
it.
the Dallas games are 3 blind games, the Tuesday and Wednesday.
That's what I've seen, yeah.
They play 3 blinds. Graphic even says third blinds.
Fold. Fold. Hey, 15. Fold. 15 to that.
We're going to see William here opening up King 10 of Hearts. And the +2, Bryson going to put in the 3-bet on the button. Already spicing up the action with Queen 10 of clubs. Mr. Lottie going to come right along, defending against this 3-bet, out of position. Or did we see a 4-bet? No, okay. And Bryson getting rewarded, man, well out flopping the King 10. Lottie's basically got backdoor heart draw and pair outs. Pretty much it. Not gonna be enough to defend on this board texture.
Round 1.
Facing the C-bet.
Thank you.
If I knew you were in the lineup, I would have brought my hat.
You would have brought your what?
My hat,
Oh.
The Mets.
yes, the Mets.
I figured.
Big day for them.
Yeah, they acquired Baez for no good reason since we're not going to have DeGrom until at least September.
Sounds like Mutt.
They have no bats. That's why.
Yeah, without DeGrom, though, I don't think they stand a chance anyway. Like, I'm not really desperate to see them win the division just to get bounced in the first rounds.
Fold. 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 Call.
25.
Raise. 25. Fold.
Folds all the way around to Jared coming in for a limp, the King 8 of Hearts. Good thing he didn't raise because Bryson woke up with 2 kings that inevitably would have 3 bets. And Luke, once again with the pocket 5s, sitting at the speed limit. Let's see if he can spike one this time. Does not come, though not the worst flop pocket 5s. A lot of backdoor potential with this hand. You have very relevant blockers as well. Bryson's got an overpair to the board. Great flop for pocket kings, especially holding the king of clubs with your pair. And Bryson going to defend the 5s here. I think that's
Heads up.
perfectly natural defend. Checks it over on the turn card.
All turns 3 of diamonds.
Which is another 3. Facing the double barrel here and picking up, basically having all of your additional equity brick. I think this is going to be a fold more often than not, though there are draws available, and Bryson doesn't have to have a pair here. Ace-King, double barrel here, something like Queen 10 of clubs could double barrel. Any Ace-X of clubs is definitely going to double barrel that doesn't have a pair. Pretty close spots, I would say. And on top of that, I was going to say something that is not true. Never mind. Do like the fold here with pocket 5s. Not especially worried about spiking a 5 that is a club, given that the board is paired. In fact, that would be ideal, but if you're calling, spike one out, or you're probably calling a little too often.
I can see right as I
5
get through the
blinds is
blinds.
better than 3.
Why not?
Glad I'm finally getting to see some of these Austin Town regs play the game here. I know all the faces and personalities of TCH and Dallas, but
Yeah, it's early.
I don't really know these guys just yet. So exciting to mix it up a little bit. It's exciting for you guys as well, I'm sure.
Hours power.
Get to hear a little more Greg P commentary,
So we've got like straddle all the way back.
for better or worse.
Call.
And it looks like we're seeing some straddles here, double and triple, all the way up to $20 straddle. Anderson going to be pushing the action, reducing the SPR, making people play for stacks post flop. You're just going to flat call with the king 10 of spades and +2.
Still don't tell the story.
Given that this is a double straddle, it's not unreasonable to see a couple more just limps in.
Ace king suited. Ace king suited, runner flush got there.
Oh god.
Only pre, I
Well,
couldn't
to,
do
to
it.
be
No, yeah,
fair,
I mean-
last stream I played the 2-5.
And it looks
I
like
had,
king 10 gonna
5-6
take
and
this
I called
one
light
down.
Bet pre-flop and the flop came down 2-3-4, and I bet call. I think I checked. Somebody bet. I called because it was pretty large, and we got to the river, and he runner like hearts on me. He was like less than 2% on the flop.
Okay, I'll go ahead and take the
Anderson was less than like 10% on the flop.
Because be sure when you
I
are
remember looking it up.
watching that you are subscribed,
I just wanted to know because I haven't like actually looked.
so you can be picking up all them TCH loyalty points while you watch. You can then raffle those off,
But I
or
mean,
excuse
I've
me,
done
gamble
that
those
though,
off for more
because I
points,
would've
or
been
you
mad.
can use
It
them
was like a
to participate in the raffles that we have for merchandise on occasion. It's a great way for you guys to interact more in the chats, and you can maybe get some free stuff.
That's like,
Just for the
I
man.
think that's
As we see Luke raise it up with the tanks over Jared's limp with ace 9, and Declan coming along in the small blind jack 9 suited. 3 ways to the flop.
just bring it back and come back.
Jared spiking top pair, just one of the worst possible flops for pocket tens. Gotta love it. So Luke is going, looks like he potentially, I like the check. I thought he was reaching for double for barrel chips. Not too much purpose in barreling the tens there, and facing a bet from Jared into 2 players after checking the flop on a relatively brickish turn card. I think the tens are gonna have to go straight into the muck. And Jack 9, of course, getting well out of the way.
Alright,
John Burke says, Greg P, what are you doing down in Austin? I am not in Austin, sir. I am casting in to help out because Mr. Youngblood and Mr. Aaron are not available today, but I am still in Dallas. In fact, I am at home, casting in for the first time from my own home PC setup.
As much when any bet gets up there. You could bet $10. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Thanks for the sub there, Stephen Falcon. Love it.
Yeah. Pretty hand, but shitty flop.
Always love seeing
See pocket kings.
all these new subs we get. Gabe Stowe coming right along afterwards. Appreciate it. The channel is growing so fast. It's pretty awesome. Pez says, Greg putting in the miles in. Yeah, man. I'm going to end up doing 4 full-time single streams this week. I'm alone by myself tomorrow as well on the tournament stream. We're going to see Shane open up Jack 4 off in the cutoff. And Declan, I like the 3-bet here, man. King 10 suited. Luis in the... Oh, the graphics need to catch up a little bit here. Apologies, y'all.
Don't worry, if you did it.
Yeah, we saw Declan raise on the button and Luis. That makes a little more sense. I was like, wow, Jack 4 off's coming in for a raise here. That's rather surprising.
Just raise it with the nuts.
If I would have known you were
Thanks
playing,
for the sub,
this game,
Kale
I would've
Emery.
watched more closely when I was sitting here on Thursday.
I think in position with King 10 on the button, facing a 3-bet out of the small blind. I mean, it just so happened that your opponent had ace queen of diamonds there, but you don't have to have such. You don't have to be at the top of the range.
I guess not.
You can 3-bet from the small blind, facing a button open pretty liberally, and your hand plays well enough post flop. That's probably good enough
I would've had
to defend one time in position. Your opponent doesn't even have to have a lot of King X that dominate you either for your pair outs.
Alright, 75.
Shane now with the speed limits. Open it up to 15. Luis making the flat call on his button. 5-4 diamonds. Jared, dude, waking up. Ladies.
maybe decking.
In the third blind, gonna put in the squeeze. $75 and take it down right now. I like
That's pretty
the
good.
play I'm seeing thus far.
You're assuming that there's a method to the madness. South Beaches and the Grinches. I never thought that they would re-release them ever.
Yeah.
So,
Raise,
no,
25.
like the Grinches, it's the most of their favorite shit. I paid 450 for everything.
I paid
That's some respect right off the bat. How come I can't get that?
We're gonna see Austin open up Jack 10 under the gun and get a Ben Kirby walk, man. That's a solid result. Jack 10 off under the gun open for sure. That is pretty much the only result you want. Just take down the blights right then and there.
Dude, I'm really stoked for doing that. Like, really stoked.
I like that.
You and I are
Yeah,
playing
yeah.
that over here.
All of them.
Such a good
I got
tool.
like 3 or 4 pairs.
Such a good tool.
That's what I was running in. The 8. The black and red, dude.
Of course you will.
It was so bad.
That was well thought out. Good job on that.
Yeah.
I got you. Anything other than ego on the line? No. Of course not. Never. At least you got hurt for the right reasons.
Fold. Fold.
You want to run now? I think I could take it now.
We're gonna see Declan limp on in here, ace 7 offsuits,
Raise, 25, fold, fold.
as the man, the myth, the legend, Lottie, the William variety, gonna open it up with pocket 9s. Folds all the way back around to Declan, and we're gonna see a flat call here. Going heads up,
You started yesterday?
very dry board texture. Declan, utter whiff. I'd like to see a continuation bet here from Lottie. He's holding a very concealed hand. Don't always have to continue with only top pair, and this board is so dry.
You're going back for more chips.
Not like a ton of turn cards that
Really
you
good looking too.
really don't love seeing,
I can only put in one motion.
and your hand is very likely the best one right now. So
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
25,
definitely.
and this extra 100.
Yeah.
Can't do that.
Maybe not the HGH thing, bro.
I like getting the value right then and there on the flop. You also maintain the betting lead, so you can check back a lot of those scary turn cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wipers were dry. I kept like
Any ace, any 10, really any card above the 9.
We didn't even get the video of the getting shot by a sniper.
He was about to dust me anyways, I think.
That flare up on that side?
I'm sorry?
Did my cards flare up on that side?
I didn't say anything.
Doesn't matter anyway.
They did.
Luis, ace 6 of diamonds, very natural open here. Gonna make it 15 to go. Anderson actually folds 9-7 of spades on the cutoff. I think he'd probably defend that one time.
Not Call of Duty. The running
And with a lot of playability post-flop, he is relatively deep stack. Unless he's away from the table. I'm not seeing that. Yeah, I think he's away from the table. I think Anderson probably would have defended that.
Varsity soccer. He's running and his foot goes
Going 3 ways, as Jared defends his button offsuits 9-7, and Luke, ace 8 off.
Keep good 10 of it.
Luis going to continue on this board. I love the continuation bet. Diamonds on the board, a lot of backdoor possibilities. He has the range advantage, even against 2 different players, so solid. Continue there.
Then of course you had to hear about it. Maybe 5 years.
Yeah, soccer injuries like that are always brutal.
Luckily he didn't get hurt. It was just
That's
hilarious.
crazy. It must have been really hot and he must have been really loose.
Yeah. I'm from Florida, so it was steaming up for sure.
Yeah, he was mad.
I wish I was in that game. He probably wouldn't have played like that.
No.
I hit the flush.
Fuck your flush.
Declan pocket 4s, limping in under the gun.
Oh, we're gonna do okay. Alright. Alright.
Luis coming along 6-4 of hearts.
25.
Raise, 25.
Bryce is going to open up the button.
Yeah, alright, it's on.
$25 wager with 10-9 off. I think with 2 limps, I would probably just let this hand go unless it was suited, because you're going to see the flop 3 ways unless you make it gigantic. Though that doesn't matter, because you spike middle pair with backdoor straight equity. Pretty decent flop. Oh, and how about just turning to pair instantly? And we've got a hard draw for Luis. Declan drawing to exactly a 4, of which one of them is in Luis's hand. Bryson gonna barrel these two cards, and I'm very surprised we didn't see a call once from the flush draw. Not drawing to the nuts, but hearts are gonna be good often enough on that river.
The way God intended.
If it does come, that I think the implied odds were there. I didn't see the bet size. Close enough.
We end up sitting there for fucking half of an hour just waiting on fucking bomb pots to be decided.
I do think that just on dealer changes is the right.
Yeah, it's 100% the
I
right.
agree with that. There's so many tables that spend up to 40% of the time on bomb pots.
Yeah,
Like that one.
it's brutal.
Pretty sick.
Cold, cold, blackhand, cold.
Like, if you want to play a bomb pot game, get on a list for a bomb pot game, because that is a thing.
For sure.
Oh, oh.
I don't know how long those tend to last, I imagine.
See Luke fold ace-9 off in the blinds. That's fine suited, obvious raise here. And Shane gonna limp in 10-7 of diamonds. Declan
Table and objects to having
coming right along.
bomb pots
9-8 of
in both
hearts.
Rotation and dealer chain. It should be off. It should be one or the other.
Luis in
Like,
there with
any
king
one
6
person should be able to
offsuits.
object to that. Now, they can't
Shane spiking
just say
top
no more
pair.
bomb pots
Declan
in
backdoor
general,
hearts,
but they
backdoor
should be able to object
straights.
to having both.
Beats of one, yeah.
Yeah. Whereas instead, what they say
Shane gonna
is
check top
that
pair here. I think in a
you have to
limp
be
pot
at
you
the
could
beginning
probably
of the
lead
game.
this board.
It's like, that's fine.
Though
Like,
it's not unreasonable to then check call.
but
Probably has one of the few
one of the
combos
battles Bryson fights
of 10x
successful.
that works better as a check call because your kicker isn't amazing. Ace of heart on the turn.
That's right.
I do
Only the most
like
important one.
both the continue from Declan and the call from Shane. Opponent's not going to have an ace too
So I
often.
will say, if you agree on these things,
5
please
pairing.
voice
I'll tell you
that.
later. Oh, hold on.
Declan now turning his
That's
hand,
what I'm saying.
do a pure bluff on the river
Okay. Check 50.
after breaking all of his equity.
I'm not sure I'm sold on the veto, but like the one,
On the what?
on the veto, but.
It is like
the
half
veto
of
tables
Declan's
out
remaining
the-
stack.
Well, I mean,
So-
I'll go with that too. Like, I mean, either one.
It's a pretty rough call to make, but Shane taking it down, man.
Said I don't see
Declan
Justin.
saying you're good,
Well, when you do,
showing 2 pair,
tell him Bryson.
picking off the bluff there on the river. Nice call, sir.
All right, we'll see. One's adding 150.
And he'll probably know what it's about.
Okay. Okay, wait, straddle, like 10, re-straddle, like 20.
Can I do it for you?
Yeah, they can complain to me too.
Pretty slow in here right now. For Friday night? I guess.
Oh shit, they can hear me?
There's a mic right here, buddy.
Yeah, yeah,
My phone?
yeah.
Just right there.
And right here.
Every mic is
You
like,
like right in between.
just like if you're a politician.
We got
every mic
them
is
straddles
like-
going around yet again, all the way up to 20 bucks. Jared getting in there 10-9 offsuits for just a call. And Lottie waking up with the ladies, man. Gotta love seeing that in a straddle pot. Gonna put in the raise. Pretty standard sizing out of position to $100. Anderson getting right in there, ace 8 of diamonds, perfectly reasonable flat call in position. Great flop for pocket queens. Not so great for ace 8 of diamonds. Lottie going to,
200?
whoa, almost full pot on this flop. I think I'd like to see a lot smaller bet sizing there, given that the board is paired. There's a flush draw available that you certainly want to charge, and you don't want to give like an incredibly amazing price for overcards to float you once.
Yeah, fair.
There's a lot of value to be had there.
13, it's like 26%. Plus 2 over. Yeah, it's 4 more. You gotta take out the 2 diamonds and 2 hearts you already accounted for.
Ah, re-straddle, like 10. Go ahead, you got that.
That's fine.
No, no, no. That's your part. That's your part.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't account for the 2
Mr. Loaf, I can see the chat. Feel free to still roast me. Hasn't stopped many.
Forgot to collect.
30's the best. Fold, 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 fold,
Bryson gonna wake up with the KJO here.
fold.
opening to $30 over the $10 straddle. Getting a Ben Kirby walk. Not the worst result, opening up in an earlier position with King Jack, for sure.
What do you think about Texas coming to the SEC?
It doesn't make much sense for A&M, but
Well, yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure there's a reason they voted against it.
I think they ended up voting for it when it was all said and done.
Oh,
just
yeah?
Because that's the way it usually works.
It's kind of a meaningless vote against.
Well, it's also you go and play the political game to go see if you can get a few favors out of it for you to vote for it.
Makes sense.
And hopefully said favor is them sending us to the Cupcake East and sending Texas to the Wolves in the West.
You don't think that they're going to do 4 divisions?
Raise.
I've seen that
Austin
model,
now
and it
waking
doesn't
up,
really make
Queen
sense
Jack
to
of
me.
clubs,
So,
the
But, I mean,
natural
it's possible.
open.
Who
I
knows?
went to
Like
Florida.
to see,
Big SEC
you can actually go either way, I think, in
I
Declan's
don't
spot on the
really
button.
understand.
Pretty
I
short,
guess
so
they're just trying to get
definitely
ahead of the future of college
Jack
football
9,
in
maybe
terms of,
not
like having the powerhouse teams in the same conference.
the hand to get it in
Well,
there with.
You're going to end up with
Oh wow, I'm sure he's pretty remiss
with
now though.
4
Would have flopped the Stone Nutter Butters.
So they were like, we'll just get the 2
Against
best
2
we can
opponents.
now.
Yeah, if he was
But
deep stacked, I'd say that's
honestly,
almost a mandatory call.
so
Defending
Texas
the
from a
button, though,
branding
given that he only had like
standpoint is
$65
super
behind,
important
it's
for the
perfectly
SEC.
fine to let that go. Wait
From an
for
academic and
a little bit better spot to get your
perspective,
stack
it's
in.
super important, but Oklahoma from a right
Queen on the turn,
perspective is way more
Austin
important
turning
than Texas.
trips. Anderson
Because the way
came
that
right
the
along.
TV deals work is the state.
Oh, the flop would check check.
When you get a new state,
Anderson
the state
now
programming
bluffing
rights
out on
have
this
to
turn
pay more
card.
to include on that state. So there was no SEC
6 of diamonds
team
on the
in
end.
Oklahoma,
Looks like
so
Austin
those rights didn't exist
was
in Oklahoma.
potentially
Well, now
trying
they do.
to.
Got it.
So,
Knows Anderson's
whereas
aggressive.
Texas
He's
had
willing to
already
get the money and he's
selected
willing to run
A&M.
bluffs, as we're
It's-
seeing
it's
here
really
on the
good
river.
marriage for both teams.
And Anderson not happy to see a literal snap
No,
call.
nothing got there.
Trip
Yeah,
queens.
yeah.
What a run out to
Jack
give
of hearts.
Anderson just enough rope
Jack-
needed
Jack is-
to run a bluff with King 5 off.
I just want to make sure you lost.
No,
it.
no, they bet 150. They bet 150 and call. Anderson made a bet 150 call.
Who knows? Maybe they'll keep talking and eventually you'll win.
All right.
Who knows?
150 is the bet. I called.
Yeah,
You won, don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah, you won. They're just
I
fucking
think you can
shit
beat
up.
King High.
Yeah, I was like,
You know,
I don't
check
know,
flat.
I've never
But
played
yeah,
on
it's weird when he's killing
Pretty
your
sizable
first.
pot
Yeah,
going over
like,
there to Austin. I'm sure
yeah,
he's
I know.
happy to see that. Happy to
I
see
know what
slow
you mean.
played on that flop. Certainly would have been a pretty
Oh,
big
really?
one. Declan would have gotten the absolute max.
Thank you, though.
I'll just leave.
Hey, 25 bet. Oh, oh, oh,
And everybody gets a pair of ladies. Tonight,
oh,
Luke's turn this time.
call. Call.
These ladies are getting around the table, getting around, as they might say.
Alright,
Anderson flat calling in the big blind, King Queen offsuit, and Jared getting a price. Jack 9 defends. Spikes top pair.
check. Check.
Pretty unfortunate, as Luke's got an overpair, though the texture of the flop may save him. It's a monotone board, and he does not have a diamond.
Bet. Yeah, 60
Luke.
bet. Fold, fold.
Not too afraid of diamond runouts, though certainly wants to charge. Oh, wow, we just see Jack 9 fold. I think that's actually a really good fold the vast majority of the time. The kicker's not amazing. You don't have a diamond on your hand, and facing a double barrel, like you're never loving it. So it's one of those hands that's really difficult to defend on future streets. You really have to be hoping that your opponent has a one and done kind of hand to expect to scoop the pots with a hand as weak on that board texture as Jack 9 offsuit no diamond.
Thank you.
Got Anderson in the chat, man. I like the bluff, buddy. Wants to check through on the flop. It just was unfortunate that
Great.
the opponent kind of woke up with it there. Some F's in the chat. Pay respects. Love it. Austin waking up king, queen offsuits. That up pretty standard to $25. Jared defending the big blind. Pocket sixes. Anderson coming along king nine. And Bryson ace eight offsuits in the third blind. Kind of a whiff board here for just about everybody. Sixes in the lead.
35. Oh.
Check all the way over to Austin, who has a pretty mandatory C-bet here. Wow, I would have expected we see the sixes defend almost 100% on that board. You got two pair, you got top two pair. Though there are a lot of runouts you're not loving. But a middling pocket pair is likely going to be the best hand. Often enough, I think you can probably peel one more for it. Wang Andy, thank you very much for the sub. Appreciate that. RTG, was there a max buy to start? Yeah, it was 500 max. And then you can match the biggest stack up to 75%, I believe. Ooh, Luis here, raising it up. Pocket kings. Anderson going to defend his button. Ace 10 off. If you think your opponent's opening up a little too often from the hijack, I'd like to see a 3-bet here, but perfectly defensible. It's just a flat call. Oh, and we're seeing Bryson put in the squeeze out of the big blind. Two mystery cards. Pretty standard 4x sizing. With a player behind, not wanting to play in between two others, I really like the 4-bet. Bryson sitting pretty deep. Make a pretty small 4-bet, something like 225. Oh, basically just a min click. I was gonna say like a small 4-bet, definitely the way to go. Bryson all in, and Luis gonna have to snap call with the kings. See if Bryson is going to wake up with it. If we can get these scanners to read.
Yeah, I did. 3 times, 3 times.
And wow, how about a king on the flop? Just drilling top set immediately. No sweat. No sweat for the kings. It's going to be a real cooler situation if we see him wake up with aces here. Who's on the end? Looks like we are doing 2 full boards. 8-5-4 queen on the turn. And a jack. Not the greatest cards to see. Though Bryson just gonna muck it. I'm thinking he probably had ace king. And that is quite a cooler situation. Already seeing stacks fly here. Texas Card House in Austin on Friday night. Thank you guys all for tuning in once again. My name's Greg Potter, doing the solo stream tonight, filling in for Mike Youngblood. Oh, we saw Bryson make a move with the Ducks, man. Wow, drawing like stone dead. Kyle Eastman, thanks for the sub. Appreciate that. While we get the stack sorted real quick, I wanted to talk about our new promotion that we're doing for the month of August, the Beat the Heat Bad Beat jackpots. We're resetting the Bad Beat to $30,000. It's going to go up as normal throughout the entire month, though the requirements are going to get easier and easier as the month continues through the entire month of August. And on top of that, whenever the Bad Beat hits, everybody, regardless of which Texas Card House location you're playing at, which you You should be there throughout the entire month, basically. If the bad beat hits at any location, everyone who is clocked in playing at the time in a seat is going to receive $100. You get $100 just for showing up. You don't even have to hit the bad beat yourself or be at the table. You just have to be playing somewhere. At one of the 4 participating Texas Card House locations, Austin, Dallas, Houston, Rio Grande Valley. So be sure to come in, beat the heat with the Bad Beat Jackpots promotion we got going all through the month of August. And if you haven't already, get in there tonight, man, and rack up the last of those hours for the poker playback promotion that we had going through the month of July. You got one more day to get 40 hours in. You start the grind right now, you'll be finished up just before the cutoff. And if you hit 40 plus hours in the month of July, you're going to get 10% back in free time. If you hit 80 plus hours in the month of July, you're going to get back 15% in free time, all to be added to your account on the 3rd of August. Big Stetter says, how hard is it to get a seat on the stream? Not hard at all, my friend. All you got to do is email us at TCHLiveList@TexasCardHouse.com or text that number there. See if you can get yourself on the game.
I'm doubtful how good they're going to be this year.
I'm curious to see.
And I'm sure a correspondent will get back to you quickly. And maybe if you don't get on this week or tonight, you could get on a future stream as well. Be sure to include your name, your interest, which game you're interested in, and a little bio about yourself so that masters like me can talk a little bit about you. Bryson got right back in there, man. Not shy at all. Gonna rebuy. Declan limped in Queen 10 offsuits, and Bryson waking up with the Ace-5 of diamonds. Austin came to play, man, putting in the 3-bet, 5-4 of clubs for a little bit of board coverage. I think Bryson still has a pretty natural call here, facing a 3-bet out of the blinds.
I mean,
Heads up to the flop.
It was easy. It's Giants, Jaguars, Jets, something like that.
And the Jets game.
Whiff board for Austin. Bryson in the lead right now with just ace-high.
I'm a pretty big Jets fan, so
This is really not a great board for
From New York, I've got
a 3-bet range that often.
it's a curse.
Your opponent's going to connect with it a lot more than you are.
Or the Patriots. That's what my family split.
It has a pretty huge nuts advantage.
Well,
And Austin is going to barrel here with 5-4 clubs. I think Bryson has one of a few hands that he can actually float here, and I really like his decision to come right along. Got a lot of potential on turn cards to take this pot away from Mr. Austin. And ace-high could be good right now, as we're seeing in real time. Once Austin faces this call on the flop and does not improve on the turn, I do like his decision to check give up here. We are going to a river, bringing in the king of hearts, front door flush draw. Bryson's hand good enough right now with ace-high. Might see him run a bluff, as he's going to have a lot more heart X combos that would play this exact way. I really like his bet here. 175, super value heavy size. It is going to get the job done, obviously. 5-4 clubs had nothing to defend with, though even something like King Queen is not going to love seeing that bet as well. Well played by both opponents, I would say.
Sounds like it's pretty bad.
Carson Wentz, that guy's always hurt.
Schefter said today, like, the thought is it won't be season ending, so that shows.
So what, Thanksgiving? What does that mean, Thanksgiving?
10 weeks.
Halloween? Thanksgiving?
Yeah, whatever. First foot, I don't know, maybe broke it.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, Elway's untouchable, not just because he's Elway, but because of the ownership situation right now.
Yep.
I don't know much about Broncos ownership.
We just don't, I mean, we
The
essentially don't have
the kids
one.
are still fighting over who gets the team, basically.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's a big thing. I don't mind Brittany Bowler being the owner, but the prospect of like
Anderson waking up with
Bezos being
2 trays.
Yes,
Gonna raise that up in the hijack.
3 blinds.
Pulls all the way to round to Shane here in the 3rd blind. Oh, excuse me. Jared came along 9-8 off. Thought it said it folded for a minute.
We'll see. I don't know if, what's his name, Schneider? I don't know if he's going to end up getting pushed out.
Huge whiff for both Jared and Shane.
All sorts of.
I like Anderson's decision to c-bet here. He's
Very subtle
going to have
stuff, though, with the
all the kings in this spot. His hand needs protection, and having a pair on a paired board is very likely still the best hand for the moment, as we saw that benefits a lot from cleaning up the equity of two opponents. And when you can take it down right there on the flop, that is just about the best result you can ask for with the pocket trades.
Yeah, it's yellow on one board.
Maybe the Packers, with all this discourse, I guess, technically.
Packers are never being sold. That's not how the Packers are. Packers are owned by the city.
Yeah, there's no owner.
The city can never sell it?
They're not selling that.
I doubt they sell it.
They're owned by the people.
That's got to be the most valuable, like municipal owned item.
I'd say by the city, it's by shareholders, by the people.
Yeah. Like, I do wonder if the NFL at some point gets sick of the Broncos squabbling and says sell the team.
It's going to be the same thing with the Spanish.
because there's no accountability. Even if a team is bad, like they still get the money for the TV rights and stuff. So.
Yeah, even if the team's bad,
I mean,
you're
look
more
at
than
the
likely to
Jets.
make money.
They've been squandering their team for the last 20 years, and there's nothing.
But at least we know what.
Rotating through the dealers
We
tonight,
don't know
man.
that with the
We've had
Broncos.
3 different dealers in there now. Everybody gets a shot, and we are going to do the bomb pot. Actually, we may not have had a dealer swap earlier. Admittedly, I wasn't paying that close of attention, though it looked like we maybe had a deck swap.
Spat, like, I think the daughter is like, you need to sell the team because we have family debt or some shit like that.
It's like.
And with this dealer change, we're going to do another PLO bomb pots.
I doubt it'll happen. But it could. I mean, we'll see.
Like, that's another team I could see Bezos buying if he were going to buy a team.
We'll see how it makes sense. You could argue the Texans could be up.
Pairing the board to the jack. Jack 3. Let's see what everyone's going to wake up with here.
Bezos has the ties to Seattle.
Declan has 2 pair, though not much in terms of a redraw. We see just a straight up fold. Oh, Jared bet out $45. Oh, Jared's got, dude, he's got a boat. He just flopped it on the guys. Hopefully nobody wakes up with a jack. Even then, they're probably not drawing too thin. Having a lot of Jack X. Wow, we see Declan call the 45 here. Oh my god. Oh, we saw Declan call with the 3s, and Shane just flopped the nuts, man. Just flops quads. He's getting all of Jared's money. 8 on the turn. Sorry, all the graphics were catching up a little bit. Jared going to continue barreling here. I like Shane's decision to continue to check it on over. Calling the 15, setting himself up for a solid pot size river play and a king on the end. Yeah, I would have really liked to see a jam there, actually, from the jacks on the end. It's a nightmare whenever your opponent checks back this river card. And you do not, unfortunately, get the max the vast majority of the time, because with bottom boats, 3s full of jacks, there are so many turn cards that your opponent is not going to want to see, and that king is especially one of them. And given that this is a bomb pot pre, your opponents will wake up with anything. So they could have, Shane could have had Jack 8 there. He could have had Jack 3. He could have King Jack on the end. You're basically hoping your opponent has like Ace Jack exactly. So with quad jacks, I'd really like the jam there. Once your opponent has shown that much interest in the hand with the double barrel, when you hold all of the jacks, it's pretty. You can make a pretty good assumption that he's got something relatively strong like a boat with a pocket pair, especially when he barrels into multiple people. Jared opening up King Queen of Hearts. Just a flat call from Luke in the small blind with Ace Queen. I think I'd like to see that 3-bet a little more often, facing a hijack open. Though he probably just knew that he was going to completely whip this board. Checks it over to Jared, who's going to continue with top pair. And Jared going to take this one down.
We got a restraddle 10.
Shane says, I think 3-3 can fold to a jam there. Yeah, I agree. It just sucks when it does get checked back. Like, you still have to target the top of your opponent's range. They could have had, for all you know, they were barreling with an overpair, kings, that voted up on the end, or any number of combos. I think it's better to have bets and get the fold rather than letting your opponent check back and you get no money in the middle, because it still gives your opponent the opportunity to make a mistake, right? So the lead on the end was probably still the most ideal, though we may not have seen a call anyway. Jared getting in there. Jack 10 opened that up, get a call from Luis and Anderson. Anderson flopping pretty big here. No diamond on board. Louis got a lot of equity here. An 8 would be like absurdly dirty. Put it out there for me, dealer, one time. Jared calls with a gutty. Anderson going to continue. Double barrel. Applying the heat. Taking it down with just a 7. Love the double barrel there.
Straddle 10. Ten to go. Fold. Raise to 30. Fold. 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 Call.
Bryson raising up 7-5 of hearts, +2. Anderson in the straddle. Came right along, pretty defensible hand.
Bet 20 fold.
Anderson completely whiffs and facing this continuation bet. Probably just gonna have to let Jack 9 go.
Not bringing the cards.
Got all the regs in the chat, man. We got Nick from Yuma, Ultimate Chat Pro, Racer Nerd I saw, Captain Under Pairs. 2 very solid regs for the chat. Shane with Jack 9 of diamonds. Open that up. In the cutoff. Anderson defending his third blind with the king 6 of clubs, and Luis caught in the worst position with with 8-5 of diamonds. Checks over to Shane, who's going to put out a c-bet here. I like it. Anderson obviously going nowhere with the second flush draw. Spikes it just immediately. Suck out City on the turn. And go check on this card, and Anderson obviously going to have to lead out here if he wants to see any value, though none to be had against Jack 9 of diamonds.
Trust me, man. And probably still had to wait fucking 4 months.
Well, we got them pretty quickly. We were lucky, but yeah, I tried to buy the full model.
Yeah.
She ended up having like some somewhere. And we tried it like a week later.
Are there any liquid or gas regs?
When we looked at it,
Always with the puns.
6 months.
Yeah.
Chat pros are great with the puns. I love to see it.
It's just her, me, and the dog. So I think we can just deal with the cats we have for now.
Plasma reg. Yeah, that old fourth state of matter reg.
And then it's like, all right, we gotta do something now.
Luke's had all the pairs tonight, man. Waking up with 2 trays, raising it up to 20 bones. And Anderson, much better pair. Pocket jacks, obviously going to put in 3 bets. I think facing this 3 bets and considering that it's heads up, Anderson made the pot a little bit larger, being out of position. You're probably not getting the right odds to call and hit your set, though the implied odds are absolutely gigantic in a scenario like this if you do flop a set. So it's close. I think if there was one more person in the pot that had called Anderson's bet, he can come right along. But even in position, pocket threes are not going to play, especially while post-flop. You either kind of hit your set or you don't. I mean, you do either hit your set or you don't, but you can't really do much post-flop play. It does... Oh, wow, he ships it, dude. Snap call from Anderson. Wow. Was not expecting that. I thought Luke was thinking over his options, and wow, what a huge flop from Jax. Just straight on the board. Broadway. Mr. Anderson, we are running it twice. And 3 on the second board. We are going to chop this one up, please. Yeah, we're going to chop this one up, ladies and gentlemen. Straight for Anderson. Trip trays for Mr. Luke. And should be chop it, Mr. Healer.
That's what the small blind usually does.
Yeah. Wow, miracle 3 on the second run out.
Mercedes Edwards, it's official. I'm in love with TCH Live. Well, we are absolutely happy to have you here, Miss Mercedes. TCH Live loves you.
Go home and think about that new couch you could have had.
I thought it was 18.
Playing too nitty, you know. I gotta loosen up a bit.
Let's
Loosen
open
up
up
with
with
it.
threes.
That
was your spot.
That proves the point.
It's not even power hour yet.
You're gonna get called down now.
Oh, that's awesome.
the night.
Wouldn't 4s be the quads if it's a
It
not
is,
threes?
yeah.
Yesterday was 3s. It's 4s today.
Oh, that's why I played
Threes
it.
yesterday?
Yeah, today's first.
I even made a set of 3s yesterday.
Yeah, you did.
I
Really?
hit the 1 outer though.
I pocket threes
Oh,
like
I
3
saw that
times.
actually.
Yeah, it was against his king.
Yeah, I was surprised that's what it was.
Austin with the tanks.
Tank, I'm surprised
Say that's good enough for a bring in. Shane, 10-9 of clubs. Pretty natural defend here. No, oh, there's no way that's what we saw Anderson have. Had to have been an error. Unless Anderson is... I think we all know Anderson is not the nittiest of nits to fold pocket queens in that spot. Eric, remember, I'm just here so I don't get fined. I'm just here so I don't get fined. Just here so I don't get fined. 10 flopping the best of it here. Not the worst flop for pocket 10s, though I do like Austin's decision to check it over. Shang in a barrel with second pair backdoor club draw and straight draw as well. And Austin going to defend the 10s. I like it. I like the play from both players. 8 on the turn shouldn't really change too much. If Austin had a queen, he very likely would have barreled the flop. So I really like Shane's decision to continue here in this exact turn card. Pretty brick of a card. And 2 pair with a queen kicker. Still going to be good often enough. He's got plenty of equity on this board. Facing the double barrel, Austin's probably not loving it with the 10s, though. I don't think you can go anywhere just yet. You still might have the best hand some of the time. And facing $75 bets into a pot that's going to end up being 300.
The Sean O'Malley fight.
Yeah.
It's close. It's super
I was
close.
literally thinking the same thing. I was like, this guy is just.
Board is now paired. That probably would be
That gets from like matches too.
a solid consideration. I definitely don't blame him for taking his time to think this one through. Nick from you says, Greg, how much do you miss Ben? Every second of every day.
But
That's how much I
type of
miss
tough
Ben.
is like built.
That's how
Like, you know
often
that
I
was,
miss
like,
Ben.
something in the upbringing. Like, that guy was-
My other half is gone right now. What more can I say? Does let go of the 10s there. I think it's a very, very close spot for sure. 10-9 suited, getting the job done with the double barrel.
They might be welter, which I don't really.
I don't think it's. I'll find it.
Welterweight or
You'll know who it is for sure.
Richard says, this is tense.
I'm
Wow.
done with fighting until they get rid of all divisions. I just
What
want
a
to see
pun.
this tiny guy go up against a big guy.
That's how it used to be.
Give me some
Watching old
odds.
UFC, it's insane.
Give me some odds and let's see if he can win. Let's go.
Thanks,
Anybody
Mr.
watch
Yuma.
the old one
Appreciate
that.
that.
Was like, some
I try and do my best here on the
Muay
streams.
Specialist versus some like 650-pound guy who's like 6'8". It was
Cameras black.
was that foot?
Mike
Oh,
Moses
you're
says,
talking
what
about Matt
is
Holloway's
the
video.
like over tonight? You know what? How about
He fought, Horse Tracy in one of those UFC.
I'm going to set that at 205. Very
Insane. I can't
attainable
believe they
number,
stopped
considering
that
there are
with 30
401 of
seconds
you
left in the round.
currently tuning in.
Sean,
What's that?
that
Live
they
me, love
stopped
buddy.
that
I
30
love,
seconds before the end
I
of the
love
round.
getting a break every now
Oh,
and
the
then.
one-
Sean
Appreciate
O'Malley fight?
the
That
free
guy
like
just
every
deserved
now
to
and
finish
again.
the
It's
fight,
okay.
at
You
the very
can
least.
do that more
I mean,
often.
You walk through
No.
like 82
Let me
significant
breathe a
strikes to
little
the
bit.
face, and they're gonna call it
No
on
hard
some, like,
questions.
small split
I'm wondering if
cage.
that's because you're running out of hard questions.
Pretty sick.
Louise, man, with the birds, blackbirds, beetles in the +2.
I don't know them cut out to get hit in the face 82 times.
Oh no. Oh no, does he get
I think I'd set that over.
folds all the way around? Just the worst result with the aces, man.
1.5 what?
I do love
I'm not cut out to
the
get
fact
hit
that he
in the
just
face
folds
82
and goes
times.
on to the next hand. A lot of people, make a big
for me,
deal.
the over-under is
Show their
1.5.
aces. Look what you guys folded to. How could you not pay me off when I have the nuts? How dare
Yeah,
you?
of course.
How dare you make pertinent, correct folds?
That's why, like, Trevor being like, just an asshole. He's like, it's cool, man.
You gotta do 4 months of jump rope before you can box.
Oh, boxing's a brutal.
That's the
dude.
preliminary workout.
It is like another animal.
Call,
That's cardio. Like,
fold, fold,
We're just gonna call with the King Jack offsuits.
an hour?
Yeah.
fold.
King Jack off's pretty close,
Yeah, but I
+1.
mean, nobody's
Probably just let it go,
boxing
and
for-
that would be
What? 1 hour and 15
I'm
minutes.
pretty sure that would
pretty
really
defensible,
if I tried to box.
especially in a 3-bet happy game.
I'm pretty sure I'd literally.
You'd probably be done in a round. And I'm not like,
I don't even think
I
around.
think I'd be done in a round.
I don't even
I
think
have to
about
call, I
that.
guess.
I think I would either be knocked
I would just be
out
walking
or-
around not throwing punches to survive. You know,
That's only 10.
Yeah, but even so, if I'm going up against
see
somebody
Luke in the
who's
big blind
gonna
raise it up
face my
6-4,
ass down
Shane
and knock me
calling
out. And then I'm just gonna fall down out of pure exhaustion.
in the 5 blind, 10-6 off, and Luis
Yeah, the
obviously
over-under on
defending
that one's
his
37.
limp. Big flap for Luis, open-ended. Shane, top pair, gutter ball. And Luke with stone nothing, man, except the bottom, the dummy end of a gutter.
Bet 15.
Checks over to Shane, who's going to barrel top pair. Lewis obviously can't go anywhere just yet. Deuce on the turn. Shane gonna double barrel and get yet another call. 10 on the end, giving Shane trips and the check mark. Checks it over. Wow, check. I think he could have gone for
No?
another barrel with that one, man. Especially rivering the 10s. Much less likely your opponent's gonna wake up with it. And of course, King Jack not gonna pay off anyways, but you probably go for one more barrel. Maybe. No. I'm taking it back. I like the check. Okay, your kicker's not great. Straights on board, etc., etc. Captain Under Pairs Greg, you said you're totally good tomorrow night. Will you be at home with TCH? I'm going to be in the booth tomorrow. Actually, I don't know. If they let me do it from home, I might do that again. Considering I will be solo. That'd be kind of nice. I don't know. I'm going to be playing all day tomorrow, so I'll probably just play until I have to do the stream.
Big man.
I've been near the nut low
You-
there. Down the fold down.
You.
Heads are up.
Heads are up.
Next time.
Whatever.
Next time. I won't shut up.
Well, and you know my opinion though on the multiple straddles, and so I'm okay with it.
Sometimes it's frustrating after the last action.
There are situations where I will straddle because I know the person.
You see Anderson pumping up the action all night, it seems, with these double, triple straddles. He and Lottie making this game even bigger as Austin wakes up ace-jack offsuit. Luke, ace-3 of hearts. I think this would actually be a really sick spot to just rip it. Rip it or fold. I kind of like the fold with ace-3 of hearts. Your opponent could be attacking dead money but it's not like awful. And we are going to see a jam from Declan here. There's a lot of money in there. That in high five is going to be good often enough. You can see all 5 cards basically in a tournament flip scenario here. Let's see it run out. Jack on the flop. Instant, just dreams crushed for the pocket 5s. No help from the run out either. Austin going to take on the pot, and Declan looks like he is done for the night. Sorry, sir, that it couldn't go your way, but we appreciate you showing up anyways.
No, not this time. I had 3, but only one of them.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I had, pretty sure I had 2 hearts.
Yeah. That's good, yeah.
Let's fucking go. Anthony Rizzo hit his first home run as a Yankee.
What's that?
Anthony Rizzo just hit his first home run as a Yankee.
Did he earn his pinstripes? Did he earn his pinstripes?
He's a long way from earning his fucking pinstripes.
I don't understand that team. All they go after is guys who hit home for sure and strike out. I swear to God, Grace.
I mean, what else do you want?
Yeah, it's not working.
Like, that's what baseball is tending towards too. Like, hit a home run or strike out.
Jared King Jack of clubs, pretty natural open. Bryson ace queen off, puts in the 3.
There's no such thing.
Facing a +1 open, you could probably still flat a lot of the time here.
For the Rays like me.
Oh yeah, that's
That's a
what.
true.
You're not doing ace queen off is like it's not doing like incredible against a +1 opening range, though you certainly don't want to see the flop multi-way. They give you a lot of hard decisions post, so this bet could be for isolation. And we see ace king in the big blind, put in the squeeze, and how about a super action flop here? Gutter to the nutter for Bryson. Top pair best kicker
Which is fun.
for Luis, and Jared with a boatload of equity as well. Unfortunately, he's dominated right now. I mean, I say a boatload of equity. He's gonna, his perception is gonna be that he has a lot of equity. He's got all the backdoor clubs. He's got backdoor Broadway. Though of course not good on this board. With Bryson in the mix. That's his jacks. Gonna be dirty. And we're seeing Bryson, man, just put on the heat, turning it up to the max. Raising up to 300. Says, wake up with it, Luis, or get out of the pot. Basically representing a set of 4s here. Maybe a set of 10s. Yeah, I could have a set of 10s here as well. Whenever you raise into 2 other people here, Luis is going to have a pretty strong range. Why we're going to see is ship it. Just immediately ship it here. Jarrett snap folds. And ace queen obviously getting well out of the way. I like the jam from ace king, man. That's good. Wake up with the set of 4s or get out of the pot, bro. Don't want to see any more turn cards. $5 super chats from Mr. Andrew Hickman. Love the stream, guys. Well, thank you so very much. I love that you're tuning in. Love the appreciation. And the super chats, for those of you who don't know, if you are subscribed and you're getting a piece of those TCHLive loyalty points, super chats are the best way to rack those up. So if you feel so inclined, you get a little bit back for your generosity and your donations. We appreciate those so much.
You're almost 15.
Eugene Green, you can't run good forever, bud.
How much? 1100.
Seeing him on a bit of a downswing from these point gambles. Look me, how many TCH points to buy TCH? All of them. You have to have every TCHLive point. Obviously, Lottie limp in with the 7s. I would certainly say that's good enough for a raise in the blind battles. Not a hand that you want to like give all the equity for your opponent to. And Anderson's actually huge flop, open-ended. 5 on the turn, does go check check as Lottie defends to a bet here. And Lottie going to show the 7s. Looks like 6-3 bricked. Anderson not wanting to put another chip in the pots, and Mr. Lottie going to take this one down. I guess it's actually not unreasonable to limp in with a very aggressive player behind you. If you're willing to calm him down,
I'll go
we'll swap.
Well, technically.
Milo says, Eugene gonna be your boss soon, Greg. Hey man, the way he's running with the points, he just might be.
Chips on stream. Two.
Bryson under the gun. Let's go with the 5-4 clubs. I think that's fine. It's pretty hard to play this hand from early position.
Fold.
Pocket 6 is getting in the mix though, it looked like. And Jared gonna defend his blind, ace 10 off. Very standard thus far. Tricks it over to Austin. Who's going to c-bet this board. Don't know what it is yet. And did we see a raise? Oh. Or just a flat call. Great flop for pocket 6's 8-4 deuce rainbow. Pocket pair often going to be the best hand here, but Jared putting in the check raise 75 says, wake up with a pair or better or fold, sir. Once he faces the resistance here on the flop. It's kind of tough to continue barreling, but he does elect to do so for full pot size bet here. Austin does not look like a believer though. Though once this queen peels, it's pretty rough, and if you do end up seeing the river, you're gonna have to play for your stack the majority of the time, and your hand's not gonna improve often enough that I think it justifies the turn call. So ace 10 off, gonna get it done with just a bit of raw aggression.
Let's see, we're there.
Raise 25. Fold. Just kidding. Raise 25. Fold.
Luke waking up big slick off suit.
Raise to 125.
Let's say that's good enough for a raise. And Anderson, duplicate, same hand, opposite color.
You want to do this again?
Puts in the
You
3.
want to do this again?
Oh, I am good.
They end up isolating Luke here. I think Luke's pretty much got to rip it here. There's really no other option. And a snap call for Anderson, of course. And we are most likely going to chop this unless the board comes monotone. That would certainly be
Same thing.
interesting. And ace on the flop, going to be chopping it up, ladies and gents. Oh, 2 boards.
4 hearts.
Going 2 times.
Another heart.
Yeah, that's a chop all day, every day.
That's fun.
These boys once again chopping up the blinds. Solid $3 and $4 profit for each of them.
It's better than losing. Yeah, very low.
Yeah, I'm totally raising to put you all in every time. You know that.
I get it. It's cool.
One's up next time, small one, 400, big one, 800.
What's next on it? Let's do this, please.
I do not deny these abilities.
I told you, I got shoved like 2K with 6-9 and fucking this table. It's a straight pre-flop. called in 500. He goes all into 2.
Sounds well separate.
Raise to 20. Fold.
Definitely under.
Fold.
Yeah.
Fold.
Oops, sorry, man.
Fold.
You see Shane open up under the gun with 9-7 of spades. Jared defending his ooh, and a 7 on the flop, dude. Monotone board. Goes check, 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 snap, check, check all the way around. Jared now with check mark.
Me too.
Checks all the way down. 7 with a 9 kicker, no good. Ace will play.
7 is back to 200.
Yeah, definitely don't fault the players for checking that one all the way down, giving the run out. They had second pair on a monotone board. Neither one of them really had a range advantage. Queen on the turn brings them apart. Neither one had one.
Probably is not right.
So I think that played out exactly as it should have.
That's a good one.
Yeah. By some marginal degree, I suppose.
I love coming back right before the blinds do when I'm shorty.
Call. Fold. Fold.
Gotta get a little reading in there first, though.
I hope somebody did that for the hand that I was gone earlier.
I don't. You weren't going.
Give max. Okay. No, not when I was gone here, but.
Call. Fold. Fold.
You're gonna see Declan limp in with the king 10 off. Oh wait, we did not. These graphics are tripping me up today. Bryson open up on the button, and Luke going to defend his big blind with something. Don't know just yet, but it looks like he has a decision on this flop. He might
I
have
was
something
there.
like pocket 8s, pocket 9s,
I graduated.
7s maybe.
They're always like
Something like 8-7 off with the club. Who knows?
Like good bowl games.
But
I wasn't there for much.
Ace 8's going to get it done with continue on the flop.
I graduated in 19. So.
So the answer is no.
I went to 2 SEC championship games and got throttled by Baylor.
I was about to say, you're in the East. A&M would be in fucking SEC championships left and right, too, if we were in the East.
LSU's in the East, right?
I mean, we beat y'all.
Yeah, I know. I don't
Look at our record against teams from the East.
I don't want to.
We smoke teams from the East.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever. Whatever. Fucking wise guy. 25.
Jared getting in, king 10 off, as Bryson going to raise up over the limp, ace 8, and Austin on the button, ace queen of hearts, premium. Puts in the 3-bet here. I like the 3-bet. Pretty much mandatory, I'd say.
camaraderie and party and divided
Luke getting out of the way, queen 10 of clubs. I'm sure he would have liked to have played that hand. Not going to happen. Declan facing a 3-bet out of position. Ace queen off.
I wouldn't go again, but.
He's short enough. He could probably just rip it and not be, not be too sad about it.
Just stay there. Like I drove all the way back to Austin after, and I was like,
It's close. I'd probably just rip it here.
But I'm saying, like, I'm in the car,
Definitely don't. It's definitely like shove or fold. You cannot just flat call, especially given the stack depth. Like no way.
Yeah, it's
In a million years.
the second weekend of ACL,
Oh yeah.
which
But
I think will be a good.
It's a close decision for sure. The ace queen off there.
Should
had
be
it.
fun.
I had a good hand.
I had a good hand too.
I'm gonna fold it a better
I
one.
had a good hand. I really doubted it.
We're gonna take a
That's
look
nice
at that
here.
after.
I hope so.
We can check.
You're going to. If you're lying.
You're dying.
I'm seeing some new names and stuff in the chats. Stuff that I haven't seen on the Dallas stream.
Yeah,
Guys, gotta
I'll
watch
take him on the
all.
race.
Gotta watch all.
You'd probably be able to
I
do
was
that.
short stack, so like.
If you're in this chat, how could you not be in the Dallas chat as well?
Yeah, I always love reading the comments over.
Dude, it's so funny.
Bryson gonna open up ace queen in the hijack.
Yeah, the comments.
Shane
are
just
wrapping up.
folds ace 5 clubs in the small blind.
Check it out.
You could probably go I think either way between
yeah.
flat call.
I wasn't
I think you can
calling
honestly
that.
go any of three ways between a three bet, a flat call, or a
I
raise.
almost like thought about
So
raising.
Bryson's been pretty
Every
active
time I hear
tonight,
bottom
so
set
I
like
would probably
that,
opt
I
for
always
three
lose.
bet in
But
that
like,
exact
it's so
spot.
fucking hard to raise quads because it's like, I mean,
You have all the good cards.
yeah. Especially when it's like top quads.
It'd be so hard. Top quad.
It was just nice.
Versus, you know, bottom.
Well, it was nice for David because
When you have the
I
bottom
look at
quad.
second nuts and get sacked by him last hand, and then I was like, oh,
I lost
let's
like
do
the
it
bare
again, and then I have quads.
I was okay with it.
Yeah. I just don't think it.
If I would've checked there, it makes you feel better. I would've played it probably the same way.
I mean, I'm not calling a big bet.
Bryson getting the same hand back to back. Says, how
Had quads, you know.
could I possibly believe it? Ace Queen opening it up.
The way he was looking, like so.
Pulls all the way around to Anderson, who's blind. Nothing to defend with, man. And Ace Queen just printing money right now.
Why are
The
we
man's
playing?
blind from
Why are
things
they?
type of
If they're so broke, why are they on the stream?
A lot of justification for folding more often than not out of position. So
Nobody likes a little diversity on YouTube.
No, they just want
They just
big
want some
action.
action.
They want people placing 75.
good Burridge, buddy. I
Yeah,
go by the name
to be fair, I
Greg
do
P.
always watch the
Chat. I'm
new
typically
record-
the
record
commentator
breaking
for
videos. Like, oh, new record, like,
the
75.
Dallas Texas Card House stream that we do
Oh,
on
I
Tuesdays,
gotta
Wednesdays,
see
and
that.
Saturdays, and then we swap every other Friday. Though I'm filling in tonight, going at it solo,
Like running like diamond.
as Mike Youngbloods and AA Ron are
Yeah, I did
not
that.
available
Someone
tonight.
said sick cooler the other day.
Yeah, straight ball six is not blush.
Shane's going to open up Queen 10 of clubs in the cutty, and
Oh,
Declan
yeah, I saw that.
defending his button, Ace 10, Anderson in the blind, Jack 6, oh my god, action flop here, Anderson, top two pair, Shane, club draw, going to continue, pretty much mandatory. Board is relatively dry other than the clubs.
I see that if it's not paired, and I see that board, I'm not even thinking about it. I'm just like,
Anderson looks like he's putting in
and then
the
they show
check
me, I'm like,
raise,
oh, yeah,
75.
that's existing. Oh, well.
Shane going to make a pretty standard call here, and he picks up a bunch of equity on the turn, picks up some gutters to go right along with it. So I don't think he's going to be able to fold
I was like, wait,
when
why?
Anderson three-quarter pots it here. No, full pots it.
And then I noticed,
180.
he has a flush.
Oh,
And then
man.
I looked at the ace
He
of
does
diamonds. I'm
not
like, wait,
want
is this
Shane
board
drawing,
dominant?
for sure.
Why is he
Shane doesn't
winning?
think too long before coming right along. Also got an overcard. Well, so that could be some consideration. How about just everything on the river? Sitting with basically the nuts. Anderson going to check this one over. And I'd love to see Shane just rip it here, man. Just like polarize hard
One re-entry, yeah.
and hopefully get a crying call 7-6. You could bluff, say you had like ace jack with the ace of clubs in this spot, or ace 6 with the ace of clubs. This would be a sick play to make and a great one to bounce with. But he is going to get the crying call from Anderson. Shows it. Shows the flush. A huge pot going over to Shane. 1K pot. Anderson had a great start, man, but he is running into it a little bit, or rather getting sucked out on. Freebex is tough call for two pair. Yeah, man, it's tough. When your opponent puts in half their stack, like I would honestly, I would be more likely to call that river bet with two pair facing a jam than I would a half pot size bet, because that bet is like begging you to call. It didn't help that the king came in too, so your two pair may not even be good anymore with king jack.
Yeah.
Not too many hands that you beat, for sure. But whatever your opponent, if they polarize, that means they can fit a lot more bluffs into a river jam like that. And I would probably be a little more likely, a little more inclined to make the hero call.
I am. Call.
We're gonna see limp call with the threes when Luis opens up ace jack on the button. Turns top pair. Luke, after the flop checks through on a paired board, going to lead out. I actually like the check from ace jack on this board. I mean, there's no suits, there's no relevant ways for his hand to improve other than exactly turning a jack.
Unlikely unless they settle it.
And the board's too connected to expect a ton of folds from a limp calling range. And I really love his decision to raise the turn when he spikes it. He's effectively got the nuts. Effectively got a very nutted hand at least.
Yeah.
With top two pair best kicker.
Maybe more like, you know, Holiday Inn Express breakfast.
Yeah. Like, I don't think that much even gets you food at the Flamingo.
True.
Also, it's the Flamingo, which is its own problem.
I'm raising twice. Raise 20. Call.
Because we still have a light goal tonight. I set it at 205 though. Given the pace we're on, that might be just a little too low. I'm going to bump it up to 235. Make that a little better.
Oh, you're talking about online.
As we see Shane bumping up to $20 with ducks and the +1, getting 3 calls all the way around.
Yeah.
I would actually love to see a squeeze from ace jack diamond in the small one.
I was stuck playing
But
one
we are
table
going
on my
4 ways to
phone,
the flop here.
and it was,
Manages
the
to
circuit
whiff
game
just
I
about
was
everybody.
always
Declan flopping the best with
like,
bottom pair.
10 from the money with
What is it? Bottom
aces
top,
making
top
the
bottom,
flush versus a
something
straight
like that.
flush, which, you
7
know,
on the turn.
Yeah.
5 still the best at
June
the
was a
moment,
very
man.
dead month for me, and that
No
was
diamonds on board. No reason
was
for Jared to take a
the
stab.
very Juniest way to end
But
my June.
Anderson, once checked through twice, says you guys better show up with it or get out as he picks up the jack high flush draw. And Declan making the call with the 5, dude. That's awesome. I gotta say, that is awesome. Once the king pairs, there we go. Check check. Man, what a good call from Declan. I love that call. So good. Those Anderson's liable to take a stab at it. You would think that he would bet the flop when check 2 with a spade draw, or even a 7 maybe. Kind of have to put, or a 6, excuse me. You really kind of have to put your opponent on exactly
I don't want to go first.
a 6 to not think you're good there, and I don't think that even Anderson's going to be betting a 6 often enough, 6 or 7 on the turn.
Raise 230. Call. Call.
Anderson not slowing down though in the cutoff and opening up with the offsuit wheel ace, getting a button defend from Jared 6-5. And Austin can go either way here. I'd really like to see a squeeze, honestly. Facing 2 late position opens from an aggressive player and a capped range from Jared on the button. And he does agree with me, puts in the raise. Love it. Love the 3-bet here. 145, good sizing as well. And he is going to take that one down right now. You love to see that.
I don't think Jack's good.
That deck is going to be well shuffled.
You can look
I think he rip cut 6 or 7 times there.
Oh, shit.
That's the only place they're gonna play.
Oh, really?
I didn't wear my glasses.
I can't see it.
Yeah, if you want to see, you got to get up.
Yeah, now I'm good. Call.
It's too much work to get up. I
Yeah,
can watch it
way
in
too
the
much.
Just far enough though.
Anderson limping in queen 6 of diamonds.
Next time I come, I'm
We
ready.
get to play a pot in position if we see defense here from Shane with king jack, which I think we will.
Hope you get to see 1 or
It
2.
would be crazy. Oh, he actually raised it up. That's right. Anderson limped in. And Anderson obviously not going anywhere. Heads up, playing position with the suited queen. Spikes it, man. So Shane's got
Yeah,
a
exactly.
ton of outs, dude. He's
I can't.
gutter to a king high straight, and any spade gonna give him the best hand. Anderson gonna bet his top pair. Wrong color cards. 9 on the turn. Brick. Great card for Anderson, honestly, to double barrel on, and he decides to do so with top 2 pair. I think Shane still has to call here. I mean, he's no longer drawing to a, you know, the flush isn't going to give you a nutted hand per se, but the 9 shouldn't help Anderson like that often. But he does elect on the fold there. I think, given the fact that Anderson made a pretty big bet there in the turn, probably not getting the odds you need to hit a gutter or a flush. I mean, you got like a quarter of the deck that's probably going to help you. So once the board pairs, you can't be absurdly comfortable with the idea of hitting your flush as
I
well.
don't think they did, but I can't tell because I missed it just in time.
Body.
One too early.
Oh, one's too early? Shows you where my mind's at.
Come on, old man. Hobble over.
Fold. Fold. Wow.
20.
20. Call. Fold. Call. Fold. Fold. Three play.
We're going to see a 3-way flop here. 2 pocket pairs available. Jared with the 5s, and Austin now with middle set. Flopping 1. Anderson 2 mystery cards as it checks it over to Mr. Austin, who is a pretty easy bet here. Goes for 2/3 pot size bet. Given that he had middle set, I actually like that bet size. The board's rather dynamic. There's a lot of things you can charge, and you just get the max from an ace all day there. So I really like the larger bet size
Calling one time.
on that board texture with his exact
All
hand.
one time just to hit your set. No
Be
good.
no good.
What a great flop. And then you check down like the flop.
Time to go.
Fold. Call. Option. I'm going to raise. I'm going to make it $50. Makes it 50 straight. Call. Heads up.
Is that the queen 10?
You can see Anderson in +1 opening up Queen 9, getting.
No, I can see.
Oh no, he limped in, and Lottie gonna raise it up with Ace King, spiking the best of it by an absolute mile.
75.
Gonna continue here, which I like. And Anderson obviously going to just let that one go.
Time to wake up with it in the strap.
You really shouldn't have called.
Oh, I
It
know.
was really hard not to.
What, you just smelled that I had a hand that I hadn't looked at yet?
No, my hand was just so atrociously bad that I probably shouldn't have done it regardless.
No, you got to call the 5.
It
I think
gets-
that's how I think about it.
It
most
gets
of the
stuck
time,
here when you
yeah.
have 2 players behind you.
Yeah. The only thing if it
Well,
was
he
any other
already-
player, I'm
he-
more
Yeah,
inclined
he
to
voluntarily put money in the pot, so like, he
So
doesn't have nothing.
you were the last action, and I'm like, I mean, I've seen him check it pretty often. So
Yeah, that's how I
4 deuce offsuit, no good that time.
No, these
that
teams
is
are much
cool.
better.
Yeah,
than-
it was really bad.
That's rough.
50? 50, fold. Fold.
We're seeing a bit of a blind battle here as 10-9 gets limped in, and Mr. Lottie gonna open up, raise it up with the Ace Jack off, and just see a fold. Bit of a nothing burger hand, but certainly worth talking about. Jared King Jack under the gun, raising that up to $25.
Call. Call.
At least with Ace Queen. Yeah, facing under the gun open, I think it's actually really close. You don't want to just flat out of the small blind too often. Though, yeah, I like the 3-bet the more and more I'm talking about it, but he does flat come along. Seeing a jack high board, King Jack. With the best of it though, Declan is like got just every draw possible. He's got 7-4 of hearts, backdoor hearts, and open-ended. Nobody holding any blockers to the straights. So we're gonna see King Jack barrel here. And 7-4 obviously gonna make him defend. Picks up a pair on the turn. Pretty solid piece of his equity, though not the piece he wanted, I'm sure. Still open-ended now with a pair. Actually, like to see a raise here on the button. Given the deck, well, Declan's very short. I didn't realize he only had $167. Yeah, I think you unfortunately just gonna have to go with it. Calling 167 to win a pot. That's gonna be like 540. Yeah, I think you gotta go with it. I think it's close enough. $550-ish, and he does elect on the fold, and Jared gonna take that down with King Jack on the double barrel. Not like the greatest turn card, really, that 7. Though, it shouldn't improve your opponent too often, right? Like, they're not gonna show up with 4-3 often enough. 8-7's more likely. And so they do have most of their opponent's draws, straight draws at least, have a pair. And I really like his decision to just put all of Declan's money in the middle before the board got any scarier.
Raise 6.5. Raise 80. Fold.
As that light goal still 235, we're sitting at 126. That ain't enough. Just like $25 ain't enough for Shane, putting in the 3-bet. Big Slick suited facing Luke's similar hand. We are now we're now seeing the exact same serve we saw earlier, though Shane does have just a squeak more equity being suited. No spades on the flop. Chop this one up, dealer. Running it once this time. Once again. Luke can't get a break, man. Every time he gets it in pre, it's just always chopping. Always chopping.
I'm sure the chat's disappointed. They want blood.
Chat's gonna be like,
They want him at least a flush.
Yeah.
He's poor.
I guess what? Yeah. Put some spades on
It's still in the pre-roll.
Yeah.
This is phrasing, this phrase I enjoy, which is fuck the chat.
Hopefully they mic that one up.
Hopefully.
Hopefully they're
Soundbite.
How to win friends and alienate people.
Luke just limping in a 7 of diamonds. I think you could probably open that up. Strong enough hand, but Anderson going to raise ace jack. $25 out of position, and Luke has a pretty natural call.
Heads up.
That ain't the flop I was about to ask for. Not the worst flop at all. Anderson, I'm really surprised we didn't see a continuation there. So he's going to delay c-bet on this turn card. King going to be much better for his range than it is Luke's. And just take that one down immediately. Ooh, Shane waking up with the birds. American Airlines. Oh my God, and Anderson has kings, dude. Oh, two of the biggest stacks of the table. We might see a 2K or a $1,700 pot here, man. Bring in the 3 bets to $80. Gonna be kind of hard for Shane to get the money in. They're so deep stacked that I still like the 4-bet here.
It's open-ended.
But it puts Anderson in like such a rough spot. Yeah, he puts in the 4-bet to 280.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think Anderson's probably just gonna rip it,
Absurd odds.
hoping his opponent has ace king.
And you,
Yeah, and all in and a snap call from the aces. Classic cooler of the poker world. And we are going to see all 5 cards. Queen on the flop, no help to the kings. It looks like we are running it 2 times, giving Anderson a chance to draw to a set once again. Does not come. Ace is gonna hold up on both boards, man. Anderson getting stacked. $1.9 thousand pots. Gonna be shipped on over to Mr. Shane, getting the absolute maximum. The pocket aces. It's a good night when you're sitting 2.3K deep at a 125 table. I'd say that is a good night of poker. Picking up all of it. Anderson not shy at all. Gonna rebuy immediately. Can't get that money back by walking away from the table, that's for sure.
Chips on stream?
Will you ask her if I can add on 5? I think I can.
JD, chips.
I'm just thinking this game's about to be
JD, chips.
I'm gonna be sitting here with like 130 bucks.
Florida stream.
It's gonna be like 3K, 2K, 2K, 2K. 140.
We got more over here. We got some over here. Straddle 10, fold.
Well, you certainly have fewer choices at that time.
Raise to 45.
Raise to 45.
It's like a tournament.
Nothing wrong with tournaments.
I don't mind the short stacks on fold.
Anderson opening up ace queen of spades in the cutoff, and I actually really like the fold there from ace 9 of clubs. It's kind of like a 3-bet or fold hand. It's not going to play super well out of position, and I'm sure he just knew that Austin was going to put in the 3-bet with king queen off. It's unfortunate that Anderson is waking up pretty netted here, and Luke once again, man, sitting at the speed limit. Probably just going to ship it, yeah. Just going to ship it again, sitting pretty short stacked. It's unfortunate. It is going to kill the action because Anderson can now only call with ace queen. And Austin, of course, going nowhere. Needs to call, what, $19 for?
138.
Call 130.
Seeing this flop. Put a queen on the flop one time so we can get a side pot there, dealer.
I think I would be back.
Anderson buying in huge here, 1.4K.
I got it from
Trying to go in for the max, it seems. I like the all-in button going into the pot. Jack 10-3. Huge flop for both players, really. Both with over cards. Austin's hand is the correct color here. Though there's not really a lot of incentive to bluff to a dry side pot. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, obviously, if they could see that Luke has pocket fives, there's a lot of incentive to bluff to a dry side pot so that you can take some heads up and try and suck out on the fives. But Austin is open-ended and gonna put out the 125. Anderson going nowhere. Snap call. Jack on the turn, pairing the board. I've still got the best of it right now, man. And once Anderson calls this bet, you're not loving it. It's pretty hard for him to have light calls here. He just so happens to wake up with one non-paired hand that he could potentially call with. So yeah, he's going to show the ace high. Pocket five is going to take it down though. Anderson getting a nice little rebate with the $300 side pot. So you love to see that. And Luke tripling up, man. The full triple up with pocket fives sliding his way. Definitely not the worst result by any means.
You can even say five card.
I hate when my fives get cracked.
Yeah. Worst
Five's not
feeling.
good crack. Fives, threes.
This is one time I had deuces, but I got so lucky.
You flop the pair.
Flop the player, like what the fuck? He plays five.
See, and that, they can't score. Can't hit.
You know with a bunch of reds, won't be blacks.
I took the red, plus 140.
Yeah.
Declan just flatting the ace-10 under the gun, and Shane going to check his option in the blinds. Check on the flop. Don't blame Declan for slow playing the ace there, and of course he's going to then bet the turn and get a snap fold from Mr. Shane.
Sure, they might pick that up real quick.
Just so you know, chatters, the block feature is very much available. I have utilized it myself. We are going to see a dealer change here. Looks like we are getting one in roughly every 30 minutes to an hour or so. And as a result, we're going to go on to the bomb pots. I'm going to use this extra time to do yet another shameless plug about the promotion we're doing for the month of August at all four participating Texas Card House locations: Austin, Dallas, Houston, Rio Grande Valley. The Beat the Heat Bad Beat jackpot, resetting the jackpot to 30,000, going to go up every day as normal. So what is not standard about this bad beat is that the requirements for hitting it are going to go down every single day. For the entire month of August, I think August 31st, the requirements, like you have to beat aces full of deuces, like that's it. And that is so achievable, it's like pretty much statistically unlikely that it won't happen at some point. And when it does, not if, when it does, if you are playing poker at any Texas Card House location, sitting in any seat, any chair, and that bad beat goes off at any location, every single person gets $100. You get a free $100 just for being in the room, playing the game we already all love to play. So be sure to come out in the month of August to get your slice of the bad beat.
No pocket.
9 deuce 3 flop. Gonna check all the way over, all the way around. It seems Jared's got. Ooh, Jared. I'm actually really surprised to see Jared check here. He's got bottom two pair and pocket queens as well. Bryson actually gonna bet out in the cutty with nines and deuces here. I guess that's why Jared checked. He knew that. Totally knew that Bryson had a better two pair. I guess actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't even know why I said it. I don't like a bet with 3 deuce. You lose to all sets. You lose to top 2 pairs, and everybody gets to see this flop with 4 cards 9 ways. So we're gonna see a call from Declan as well. Looks like the nut flush draw spikes it on the turn as the nuts. However, Bryson boats up on the river. You might see get just a little bit of value from the ace high flush. Gonna full pot it here from Bryson.
Oh man. Why didn't I
And
bet
Declan down a rough spot. Gonna put it all in with nut flush draw, and Bryson going to show the boat. Bad news for Declan, man. Can't get it done. Unfortunately, with the bomb pots not going his way. And Bryson gonna take one down. Suck out city. One suck and then the resuck on the river. You love to see it. You love to hate to see it.
Yeah. No, I know they don't play MDLs.
I know it's
Play
tough to
another hand
believe.
with $3?
Scorio, do dealers have like
Oh, I'm in the 5 though.
a goal for the number of hands per hour? Can only that average your players worth? I mean, it's more of a consideration in like a casino or any place that has a rate-based system. But whenever it's hourly, they like management could not care less about how many hands you're putting out. Obviously, there's a certain point where it's like if you're putting out, you know, a hand every 15 minutes, if you're that slow of a dealer, like you're almost intentionally being slow, that's different. But whenever they're paying the hourly fees instead of
Oh man.
table rake, then there's really no incentive for management to have those kind of requirements, right? Because the hands aren't being raked. It doesn't matter how fast the dealer puts out. As long as the players are clocked in at the table, they're still making the exact same amount of money. So maybe in a casino setting, yes.
What do you have behind you?
I'm thrown off guard a little bit by the super chat. I mean, thanks for the super chat, Milo. Not your best stream. We still love you, Greg. Thank you, I think.
Oh, you're right.
We're seeing Declan all in. He actually has ace queen here, man. With his last $3, it's unfortunate. He probably would have loved to have had a bigger stack. With this result, though, 5 deuce of spades. It's kind of a monster as well, though ace queen going to take this one down and take the $7 profit. You'd love to see that. Mr. Nerd says, Greg, you're still aces to the rest of us, buddy. Thank you. It needs to be like a poker Valentine. You're aces to me. Why, boy, is this live? Yes, sir. We are on a 15-minute delay coming to you live. Texas Card House in Austin.
Top pair, he ran into a premium.
My name's Greg P. On the mic, going solo once again this week.
Yeah, I flopped a pair.
Jack 9, so when I turned the 9, I'm like, damn.
I just was happy to give him his equity. I didn't
As Anderson wakes up with pocket aces, man, raising it up to 50 and up a huge open bet, although I didn't see if there were multiple straddles going on. Austin, ace 4 of spades in the cutoff.
Let's go Mets and win it.
There's a bunch of straddles. I think it's fine, but I really like his fold. Honestly, when you're facing like a huge under the gun raise, like how good can you think you are going in there? Like even flopping top pair, you're not loving it. You're pretty much calling just to hopefully hit a flush. And Declan's all in with 6. Dude, he's just waking up with it. It's so funny. 6-5 of hearts. He has like one of the best hands to try and crack aces with, like second or third best hand in the deck to crack aces with. He's got 1 pair already. He's got 2 pair technically. It's unfortunate the board is paired. As his 2 pair outs do not play. 6-5 not going to get it done. Declan all in for the last $10. And it looks like he may not be joining us anymore. Anderson taking it down.
Speed up and live stream.
Darshan Rangan says, Greg, it's always a pleasure to hear you keeping it light, and I get to follow the games. Yeah, man. First of all, thank you. You got to keep it light on a poker stream. You know, we're playing poker. And these guys aren't sitting with, you know, $500,000 in front of them. I'm sure they're taking it seriously, but it's not as serious as a game as the one I suggested.
Queen Jack.
No.
But that's right, you're right. You said straddle.
I'm thinking, why so big?
Scott Larson, great solo commentating. Shout out from Lorain, Ohio. Thank you, sir. Appreciate the love.
I don't know how poker works.
I think it's a true like calling Queen Jack slips in there.
I don't. Calls 30, I think that's how you're supposed to do that.
I was close to calling him regardless.
Let's see. Shane raised it up on the button to 30. Lottie gonna flat. Suited king here. Trying to stay above that Lottie line. And Anderson getting a price in the straddle came right along with the offsuit ace.
Speed up and live stream.
125.
And it looks like Shane gonna bet this one out. C-bet on the button. I like the continuation here. 10-7-7. Dry enough board texture. And gonna get it done right then and there. Robert so says, how do you get these points? Be sure, as you're watching, sir, that you are tuned in and subscribed. And you should rack up some number of points per minute. I don't remember exactly off the top of my head. Or it's I think it's like a few points every couple of minutes, something like that.
Oh, I had to make you out.
Raise, we get 25. Fold, fold, fold.
100.
Austin opening up 10-8 suited. This is probably my of spades specifically. Is probably my favorite suited gapper. Mr. Lottie, my man, playing top of range ace king, putting in the 3-bet to 100. $100 over what looked like a $20 raise. Could be a little big, but out of position, big slick. Not definitely. I mean, I'm splitting hairs with that really. Takes it on down pre-flop. Robert says by talking or watching. I think if you chat, you also accumulate points. As you watch, you'll passively accumulate points. And the best way to accumulate points is with the super chat feature. That'll definitely rack them up the fastest.
Raise, we get 20. Don't have yet. 20 on the button, go fold, and call. Heads up.
Luis and Jared here, exact same hand. I had to take a second look at it because they have the exact same hand with the opposite suits. And check, 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 checky, checker, all the way through, and we're seeing a 50-50 here on the river. Not even like a good board for either player to stab at, really. I mean, actually, paired on the flop, I think whoever opened pre probably could have gotten it done with a continuation bet, though it is going to go check all the way around. Let's chop it up. I think we've seen more chops on this stream than we've seen ever on TCHLive. We have now seen, I think, 5 chops, so everybody chop it up, all right? Just like we're chopping it up in the chat.
He said up to 1650, don't they?
1650.
Can I get it?
Mr. Nurse says, I have too many points for my own good. Hey man, it's because you are a loyal fan with all your loyalty points.
I don't know what you want me to do. You want me to fucking talk nice to it? Come on.
Solid pun, Jedi Master.
I just want to how much you playing on there? 60. Oh. Player check, live stream. Oh, you have 3 more in your pocket? Huh? You have 3 more in your pocket if I can.
300.
Lottie on the button, 10-8 of spades. We're gonna open that one up, and Anderson wakes up with jacks once again in the small blind. Gonna put in the 3. $80, all very standard. Bryce and ace-5 of clubs in the big blind. I think this is a fold, and he agrees with me. Good fold. The ace-5. You could potentially put in the 4-bet. It's been this exact kind of scenario where you're facing a button open, a 3-bet from an action player in the small blind who could be just putting all of the buttons opening range to the test. In fact, the more I'm talking about it, I would have really loved to see a 4-bet there, though I definitely don't fault ace-5 just getting well out of the way as well. He could also perceive Lottie staying well under the Lottie line, and maybe not opening up so much on the button as is typical. Anderson going to continue here, and Lottie coming right along. I like the bet, and I like the flat call. King on the turn. Jack's got to be feeling pretty good, but so do pocket 10s. Check, check. And ace on the end. I think either player loves seeing that card. Check, check. And Anderson going to show the Jack's going to be good against Mr. Lottie's 10. I think both players played that hand exceptionally. kind of just a victim to the run out in those situations.
What a night, William. Had a good night.
Yeah, yeah, that was quite a night. I couldn't believe that one hand went down the way it did.
I just been watching earlier.
We're like right at the beginning of Power Hour. We agreed to do a round of 10, 20, 40. And we get instant insanity.
Luis, big slick of his own. Been doing a lot of limit tonight, but this hand is definitely good enough for a raise. Comes in $20. Lottie, King Queen. I like the 3 bets. That is in fact what he did. He did $270. Good stuff. With the King Queen of Diamonds. And Bryson, wow. Rough spot to be in with the jacks, man. Just the flat call. Luis's range still uncapped, so it's kind of a dangerous thing to just flat call and 3-bet with the jacks. We got 3 primos here going 3 ways to the flop. Jacks ahead by just a hair, man. And what a board. Great flop for pocket jacks. I'm going to check it on over to Mr. Luis.
The price tag on $10.
I'm just trying to get
I think he can definitely...
Yeah, exactly.
no, he's going to have to check it over to Lottie. And Lottie has a pretty easy continue here, even against 2 players in a 3-bet pot. Got runner, there's diamonds on the board. Does not come on the turn. So it's unlikely your opponents are going to wake up with too much of this. And even if they do have like jacks or 10s, you're not dead. You're not doing terribly against those hands. And your hand certainly benefits from fold equity. Though of course Bryson just so happened to have a hand that was never folding bet on the flop. And he's going to lead out on the turn into 2 players and take her on down against ace and king high. Jack's holding up, man. That's how you play the pocket jiggities. You guys talking about losing hair in the chat. It's unfortunate. I've noticed the line on my hair creeping back ever so slowly.
Thanks, Dad.
And I'm terrified. I'm sure I could rock the bald bearded look, but I'm not ready for it yet.
Oh, thank you.
Fun's correct.
I was gonna go to Vegas Monday. Yeah. Because I found out the mask thing, and they're closing down some poker rooms, and they're going 6-handed.
Yep.
I haven't heard that part.
Yeah. Well, my friend lives there, so I canceled.
They're all COVID crazy there or something?
Huh?
They're going COVID crazy?
Oh yeah. They were. I guess it's.
I think they're still living in denial of the fact that we're all going to get the virus at some point.
You see Anderson open up a suited king diamond variety in the hijack, and man, he's just not running good today. Just waking up, we're running into it every time. Jared putting in the 3-bet ace queen, holds all the way around. Back to Mr. Anderson, who
TCH is my favorite
is going to defend here.
They should give
Out of
Carolyn a
position.
raise.
Tournament players, in about 10 minutes, we will be racing
I hate them a lot.
Not
We
liable
will
to
be racing
fold
out the black.
to 3-bets, but that's because he knew he was going to spike top pair with a backward diamond draw. But even when you hit top pair on a board like this, facing a stronger range, like your opponent's going to have so many more better king X. A lot of hands that still, still beat like exactly ace queen. It's going to go check here. The deuce on the end, giving Mr. Anderson the best hand. Going to lead on out with top pair, and Jared just nothing to pay him off, man. Nothing, but not good enough even for a call. Not many bluffs Mr. Anderson's going to have there, and the pot is not big enough.
Versus top 2. Against me both times.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
My run back from last night continues.
I also get stacking first hand.
Yeah,
It is 2-1 right now, and much bigger hands than.
Oh, you're way ahead. My way.
I tell you about the time
You're
where
way
I had pocket aces and you flop quads or turn quads or whatever the hell it was.
We need a couple of.
I turned quads, I flopped a set.
That's better.
It is better.
I had hope.
The run.
It looks like we got a new player in Declan's seat with the beard of legends. As Anderson waking up with the sixes, going to open that up, getting a pretty natural defend with King 9 spades and the hijack. Nope. I was going to give a shout out if I saw his name, but I guess I'll have to wait until the next hand. We are seeing the flop way out flop pocket sixes.
Oh, he can get back
He
one
brought it
call.
back off stream.
Yeah, I just haven't played with him.
Paired king on the board, usually better for Anderson's range, though I don't fault the check call here. Actually, I don't know. I would have liked just a small bet. If you're going to check call, you may as well be the one betting so that you can set the price for your continuation here. But once he faces his double barrel, sixes are not going to hold up often enough. I mean, he did pick up a little potential bluff opportunity later on if back with the straight, though I'm not going to get a king fold often enough.
I never expected that hand to play out that way.
When Taylor 499 super chat, wait, I never watch the Austin stream and I hop on and hear a familiar voice. Is that Greg commentating? Yes, it is. I am filling in tonight, going at it solo once again this week for Mike Youngblood and AA Ron. So thanks for the super chat, Quinn.
Feeling all right today, Jordan?
And stay tuned. You're going to be hearing me all night.
You had it right. You're the middle point.
That was a tell.
Scott Larson, it's very rare that I will ever advocate for a limping strategy of any kind, so you should certainly raise that hand yourself. Anytime you have a hand that you want to play, it's better to, unless the game is like exceptionally 3-bet happy, then I don't hate a limp call with Jack 10 hearts. Like if the player on your left, or you have 2 or 3 players on your left that are just bananas about the 3-bets, even under the gun, and you don't want to have to fold a lot of your holdings, then it's more reasonable. But it's like such a rare situation that I'm always gonna say you should be raising yourself.
I can start running, but I have to do a stress test.
Luke opened up the spade wheel ace there on the button and just took her on down. Love to see that.
Considering just a couple of weeks ago you were telling me you can't even.
Ed Birch, just Greg, you usually commentate with Matt. Matt Money has not been, he stepped away from TCHLive, man, it must have been almost 3 months ago now.
Early on, I chose to be
Pursuing other interests. So I haven't actually commentated with him in a while, though he does still deal TCH. I think he's in Florida right now, so shout out to Matt Money if you are listening, bud.
No one called me.
Good luck down in Florida, getting a part of the all the juicy games that are down there. That we hear about.
Check the dark again.
Huge flop for 5-4. Really
That 2 is good.
right.
Oh, just fine.
Yeah. And wow. I mean, I guess seeing the turn card did not bring in a club. Calling to hit a gutter in a tiny, tiny little pot like that, not really worth it. So the fold is fine.
It'll happen. I wonder if they're gonna have a hard time finding dealers.
But Ed Birds, to continue, I typically commentate with Mr. Benjamin Kirby, the one, the only.
They're like, when you give me
Though he is currently on vacation.
Huh?
We finally let him out of the booth. We unlocked the door and unshackled him so he could go spend some time with the wife.
I never did in Philippines, stuff like that.
It always seems like a scam, so you need it.
And go home. Not that full. It's gonna be hard to tap that thing. 25.
It's Dante's turn to get aces. Welcome to the table, sir.
You haven't looked at? Oh, okay.
And Mr. Lottie's got king queen off. Probably gonna put in the 3-bet here, and I really like the 3-bets. It just sucks that you're kind of waking up into, you're running right into the tippy top, the pointy tippy top of Dante's range here with 2 pointy boys. Dante could probably go either way. You're sitting deep. It's gonna be. You're gonna fold out a lot of holdings putting in this 4-bet, especially when you're facing a small blind. 3-bet. I mean, it's a little different against Lottie.
Yeah.
You went all in, and then I
Oh, Dante just he just straight shipped it, man.
wasn't quite that strong.
I would have, if he puts in the 4, I would have liked to see like a small size, something like 230. That way, you're still going to the flop with a relatively low SPR that you can still get stacks in, and it's a bet size that like almost no one ever folds to. Though King Queen offset out of position, probably not loving putting more money into the pots out of position with an offsuit King
That's a
Queen.
slight overbet.
Just a little bit.
I did it for the stream.
15x.
Yeah, you're not gonna want me to give you action.
Nick McDonald said, y'all should offer a free buy-in game for a viewer. I mean, there's talk of using the loyalty points to do similar things to that effect. Probably never going to get a free buy-in. That would that'd be sick. That'd be sick as hell. But I can't imagine the card house has too much incentive to do that.
I'll check.
Wow, huge flopper ace-4 here real quick. Checks it over. I love the check from Luis. So good. Your opponent has a lot of clip combos that are never folding. You have like no fold equity on the board at all. And any ace is better than you. And you are facing Anderson as well, who's a little sticky. And he does barrel this turn card with ace-4, and 9's going to peel 1. Problem with calling with 9s here, if you face a double barrel, you have to fold no matter what your opponent has. Your hand strength is not going to change.
Yeah, I thought,
Really. So you have a bluff catcher now, and you're going to have a bluff catcher on the river. So I think I would really just prefer the fold. Good check back on the flop for sure, though. And Anderson does get it done with the double barrel turn and river.
Want to say what it is, or
Ace-4.
I had a really good
I have pocket that.
But yeah, we are going to do big prizes, things of the sort,
That was upside down.
for people that pick up a lot of loyalty points. So make sure you're getting those now while the getting's good. Use the gamble feature. See if you can run it up to a big stack. Loyalty points. We got plenty of raffles we're going to be doing, all kinds of stuff to come in the future. So
I didn't see that part.
Yeah, I had 7 deuce.
get the points now while the getting's good. Shane's going to open up ace-4 clubs. Seeing a flat call from Dante with 9s. I think I'd probably 3-bet the 9s here.
He checked the flop.
You can go either way. It's relatively early position to open. It would be my 3-betting would be more for isolation than anything else. But Lewis putting in his own 3-bet to 105. Shane getting out of the way ace-4. I like the fold. Dante I think can call here. His hand is going to hold up often enough that he can probably call, though he's not getting like insanely good odds given the size of Luis used, which was a good sizing as well. Let's see what the flop brings us. Oh, massive. Oh, dude, the money goes in. Oh my God, give me a $2,800 pot, dude. No way. Oh, I thought he just shipped it again. Yeah, Dante flopping middle set here. Beautiful. Luis, nut heart draw. Getting check raised. Can't love it. You hold all the blocking cards here, and we're gonna see a ship and a snap call, dude. Classic race. Luis needing some help here, bud. Needs a heart, exactly. A heart and a heart only. All the money went in. Ace on the turn he's got. Oh my God, dude. Wow. Runner trips does not help him, though. The board was paired. Wow, we're going to chop this one up, ladies and gents. Man, so many chop pots tonight, but what a huge flop. Middle set for Dante. And nut heart draw. Backdoor straight draw as well for ace queen. I don't think either player did anything wrong in that hand. I don't think either hand is ever folding. Money just gets to go in. But they did run it twice, and they're going to chop up the pot.
Fun game.
It's for the people on the stream.
It's one of those.
For the viewers.
I should have done it once.
They're probably talking shit about you.
I knew it was a flush draw, so easy went on.
No, yeah. I was between. Well, I was about to call him. What the fuck am I gonna do if like it doesn't come hard.
Ace
Like,
would have been
fold.
checking automatic. You would have hit the ace.
Yeah, so I'm like, just go all in and hope you run it twice. That was literally my thinking. Or fold. It's like, between that.
I mean, Grace,
That's fucking crazy. Jesus Christ.
they don't go for it, man.
Yeah. Which is what the fucking Yankees should be doing.
Let's do three-way flop here. I missed a little bit of the pre-flop action. Maybe we had some pocket pairs and suited relays. Anderson going to bet out once check two.
Perfect.
I think you can go either way. Eight's definitely a little bit of protection
I
for
thought it was
sure,
the 8 of clubs, 8 of spades.
but you got plenty of showdown value.
That's why I never win with that.
Yeah, I don't think that bet would be
I've never won with.
Even
by any means for as a bluff. It's definitely for like thin value and protection. So I actually like the bet more, talking myself into it. And if you do face resistance, you have pocket eights on queen 10 boards. There's a lot of turn cards you can then turn your hand into a bluff if necessary, and double barrel.
Like I said, I was not expecting that hand to play out.
Any jack, any nine.
I was not expecting it gets to the flop.
And then just a snap call on the flop or 5-10. Yes, sir. If the ball puck comes around, flip me in. I'll be right back. I don't know how I'll call a push comes.
We're gonna see some limps here, calling the $10 straddle. And Shane gonna check it, going four ways to the flop.
Now I'll be able to tell because my eyesight's that good.
Being on the flop, what a pretty flop. Good job, Vita. Manages to miss everybody. I mean, it's a super dry board texture. This is why you bet dry board textures, because everybody gets to the flop and a lot of people miss. And just about as brick as it gets on the turn, bottom card pairing. Helped no one. Checks all the way around yet again. 7 on the end. Shane with a check mark with two pair and kicker. Gonna bet it on out. 15 bones. Small bets. I like it. Squeeze. Maybe see get a crying call from like ace 10 high, something like that.
Still not profitable either. Uber in general. No.
Really?
No. I feel like Uber? The company is not profitable.
Yeah, but just because on paper they aren't profitable doesn't mean shit.
I thought they just did
Most of those companies, their goals are on paper not profitable.
Well, their goal is growth, but they're still not profitable.
Oh, I did not
I
have
mean,
it.
that their goal being growth is a major reason to not.
Anderson
profit.
opening
They
up
spend money
king
on
jack off.
and software.
Dustin ace 10 off in the small blind. I would love him to 3-bet this hand. 3-bet or fold for sure. I just want to see more money go in the middle.
Position against Anderson.
So I'm a little biased. I might advocate for
Yeah, let me
3-bets
flop next time.
more often, even when
Yeah, then you flop 2. So
it's not always necessarily pertinent to do so.
I check.
And Dante flopping huge, bro. Wow. And Anderson, wow, pure flip here.
I
Betting a snap call. Ooh, 2 pair for Anderson. Turns kings and jacks. Dante's still with a pair and a flush draw. Don't think he's going anywhere yet. Probably the best turn card in the deck for Mr. Anderson. I mean, it's not great. I guess the 10-9 gets there, but you know, splitting hairs. And he does get counterfeit on the end. He does go check. Check Anderson, still with the check mark though. Getting his 2-pair counterfeit, but it's still good enough, spiking the king on the turn. Yeah, you kind of actually hate seeing that queen pair because your main targets once you spike 2 pairs on the turn is going to be a lot of queen 10, ace queen, queen 9 suited, etc. now has trips over your counterfeit pairs.
That's right. How I felt last night.
Brian Beck, $2.99 super chat. Don't forget to tip your dealers and announcers.
Oh, yeah. Commission.
Classy, sir. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, Brian.
Lost $6,000 3 weeks ago on that Monday. You saw that, huh? Let's not talk about it.
But I won a little bit after the stream, so I didn't lose 3,500 yesterday. I only lost that.
Shane Limping in the big blind, 6-3 of diamonds, Dante ace jack, putting in a huge raise, massive raise, 105. Says, give me the money, give me the free money. Free money right then and there.
So that stream I played with him, I literally was sitting between Mark Hansen and JC. Remember that?
Not a great draw.
I was sitting in your seat. I had JC in your seat and Bart Hansen in your seat.
The best is, so I subscribe to his,
You paid for it?
I do, because I'm all over it.
Any more? Yeah, I was gonna say any more with me?
You're on there too.
I know, I'm all over that.
I'm all over it. It's like, this is what you don't do in poker.
Jesse DeAngelis just hit the sub button. Make sure you hit that bell too so you can get all the notifications, keep up to date with all the high stakes poker action we bring you from TCHLive.
Just so I can watch
You guys the access.
That was
I would say
sub.
90% are from
TCH.
Yeah, some from the lodge.
Yeah. But he takes so much content.
Hey, look, can you, maybe I'm out of the loop here. Clarify a little bit for me.
I'm surprised that TCH doesn't need the rights from TCH. Honestly.
Luke waking up with the birds. We've seen them like 3 or 4 times tonight, man. Putting in the 3 bets on the button over Bryce's King 5 off. Unfortunately, not getting the max, though. It's certainly better than them getting cracked.
And when this guy, me, just limps in with it. This is why you don't do that. Wait a minute, this guy?
I remember the
This
one
guy?
where I had like the King 7 suited.
Oh, I
you
had
like
the 5-6
or something suited.
Oh, yeah,
And he's like, for some reason this guy's 3-betting King 7.
And he's like telling me, I got the combo draw, I need to leave out. Well, it didn't work either way, so.
It didn't work out for you.
I was like,
But I mean, I think I took the same amount of criticism that you did on that hand. Even though I won.
he did win.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. All right, guys. Somebody send them all a text. Ace, 8 deuces the nuts. So. I want to see it happen. I'm not
Good
biased.
news is I'm first back, so.
I see a 4-way flop here.
Yeah, I'm gonna, if I get a combo draw.
Shane opened up 9-4 suit on the button. Did not get the result he wanted, I'm sure, but he is deep stacked, so fine results. And pocket 3s in the lead. Wow, that's amazing. Probably not for long though, as Dante just spiked top pair. Everybody else drawing damn near dead. Shane going to barrel at this card, obviously getting no folds from Dante at the ace-10. I think given facing 3 other players, you could probably just check back and just give it up with 9-4. He did not hit the flop in the way you wanted to, but he is going to run the double turn and river double bluff with 9 high. Certainly can't win the pot by checking back once you've come this far. The club draw did come in, and Dante has the ace of clubs in his hand. He's taking away a lot of the unfortunately, given that he has the ace of clubs in his hand exactly, like, you're taking away all the bluffs your opponent has, except for 9-4 spades. Yeah, no removal to that. Nice play there from Shane. Unfortunately, ace-10 not going to hold up often enough on that run out to make the call.
30? 55.
I mean, I said I had ace. I'll have an ace left.
Miller says, I think we should encourage more super chat bounties. I like that idea. That's fun. It's like one more extra layer of engagement that we can give you guys. So that's really cool. Yeah, feel free to peer pressure others into doing the same. Mr. Loaf.
I want it to be a flush shot. Okay, cool.
The most aloof of meatloafs. Such a good screen. Jared getting in there with the 5s, calling 5, speed limit. Austin waking up king 6. Diamonds opens that one right up.
When you were saying
Dante
the whole button raise, I was
flicking in
like,
a chip to defend his button, Jack 8.
It's like
Should have stuck with that instinct.
Straddle's about to wake up and fling at me for that one.
They were going 3 ways to the flop. And good lord. Top pair for Austin, Jack 8 with a gutter. And Jared way in the back with pocket 5s.
55. Perfect flop for live.
Massively perfect.
Ideal. No draws, no overcards.
Running fast.
Makes it easy to fold at least.
And Austin gonna take that one down with a bet. With top pair.
Oh, that was mine?
Yeah.
Trap card.
Joseph Varga just hit the sub button. Thank you so much, Joey. Appreciate that. Guys, there's 543 of you watching. The like goal's 235. We have really slowed down on those. It's like less than half of you. We can make that happen.
Yeah, even though Nathan was good.
My other card was a jack. Thanks, Jordan.
Saved you.
You're getting dominated.
Can you ask what the biggest stack is?
How much you can have. Doesn't matter what the stack is. It's 75.
Oh, that's right.
I guess it's gonna be like 16, 1700 still.
Shane gonna open up King 10 off. And Mr. Lottie gonna wake up with the AQO. Looking 3-bet Jared flat calling the big blind. Once again, seeing Jacks put in a rough spot. I don't think King 10 gonna hold up often enough. I like the fold. Definitely an argument for just folding, open folding as well. Suited, obvious raise, and then even still could probably fold to a 3-bet. Smashing top pair for Mr. Lottie, the worst flop possible for pocket jacks. And he just, I love seeing the look in the head shake. He's just like, unbelievable, man. I wake up with the jacks again, and this is what happens. Worst hand of the deck. Pre-flop.
Wait, a lot of small ones tonight.
I am not in pajamas. Quinn, I did still put on the normal human everyday clothes.
Power hours last
Do have plans after the stream tonight.
So while you're over there barking.
Did you figure out the new number for the start?
Raise.
Raise and get a quarter.
Luke just flatting under the gun, King 10 of clubs. Shane gonna open up King Queen over the limp, and Dante putting in 3 bets with the tanks. I think probably just flat call facing early position aggression. Oh wow, and Shane just snap folds to King Queen, though he does get it done.
The 9-4.
That would be sick.
But I have to.
That would be sick.
I forgot what I had, but I like it. For 1.5.
Monkman says, what was this game's buy-in? 500 to start, though it quickly devolves as there is a 70% match the stack rule. So we've seen stacks fly and then reloaded for up to like 1,500. So it started reasonable, you know, but it quickly devolves, always.
Real fishy.
Such a small game.
I mean,
I have 24 right now.
Come on, old hobbles.
I'll do it.
Dante opening up Jack 9 off in the +1.
Don't hold back.
15.
Definitely mixing it up, trying to get in the middle.
Keep it smaller.
Are you playing that game next Tuesday? In Colleen, I think,
Oh, no.
25?
And Jared, just going to flat call on the button. I like the flat call based on the +1 open. This does price in Austin to get in there King 6, and Luke says why not with 10-4 clubs. Huge flop for Austin. Top pair on a paired board. Backdoor spades. 5 on the turn, giving Austin the check mark. Everybody else drawing stone dead. Charles D, $5 super chat. Shout out to the 10 a.m. regs here at Austin TCH. Yeah, man. Absolutely. The regs are what make these games possible.
That's what they told me. They're sucking me in.
Could be.
I don't buy that.
You're the whale.
I'm gonna be sitting at the table going,
Dude, there's a bunch of whales.
You'll be
at the
whale
set.
number
I'll be
5.
like, I know, like, what is it? Everybody wants me to play so
Bring
bad.
your checkbook.
I know.
No, I'm usually in San Antonio on Tuesday. I don't want to. I'm already here so much.
Who else plays that game?
Which one? Did you?
Yeah.
Rhonda, you, Chan, Seti.
Well, Seti's supposed to be.
It's on Friday. It's Friday.
Oh, okay.
It's a Friday game. It's 10:25.
I never played with Rhonda. I've seen her play.
Play Rhonda a bunch. Chaz will be there. Bones.
Yeah, that game's too good. That game's too good. It's not too big, it's too good.
It is a
No,
good
that's a good game. I mean, those players are all better.
game. Me too, but I hold my own. I lost 10K a couple weeks ago.
You got Dante that limped in with the speed limit under the gun, not speeding.
But it's one of those big swinging games.
And it started a limp cascade, and oh my gosh, all the pocket pairs available.
You have to be.
Austin gonna squeeze 45. You can probably even make this go up to like 60, especially out of position against this many players with the jacks.
Look, player left.
Shane, ace-9 of hearts,
Player came to the table, do a bonfire.
putting in the 3 bets, man. I actually really like this 3-bet squeeze. Vast majority, like, I really do like it. It's a good squeeze for Shane.
You say the word bonfire, it's bonfire.
Especially because if Austin does have something near top of range, like jacks or middling range, like 9s and 10s, like he's probably just gonna fold. I think jacks is like just a little too strong to let it go here. In fact, you probably just chip it pretty comfortably, as this is Shane does not have to wake up nutted here. Doesn't have to be anywhere near the top of his range either, given that there was all that death money in the middle and so many players behind that he wanted to isolate against and price out.
Yeah, I hate when I do that. Like, I get sucked into it.
Like, I have to, like, they're texting me, hey, we got a seat open. I have to, like, I can't go home.
Yeah, I've literally been sitting, like, at a lodge playing, like, the 1-3 or whatever. And they're like, hey, you want to go on the stream? Like, I only have like 6K on. Like,
Austin does go with the flat call here, and Luke going to very slowly slide his pocket fours into the muck.
Yeah, but that's fine, but I don't have a second bullet. I'm not going to play.
It's up to the flop.
Otherwise, I look like I'm just terrible.
Like I do.
Yeah.
Wow, huge flop. We might just see all the money go in. Austin's only got a pot size bet left. Honestly, if I was Shane, I would just rip it. Wake up with something Austin or fold. I think maybe I would bet like small. I'd bet like $100. I'd bet like $100 and then chip the turn. Damn near any card on the turn. Austin checks it over. Shane gonna bet out. 145. Close enough. Good bet. I like it. I would still probably even go smaller, just to set up, give him a little worse odds to call on the turn. Austin obviously going nowhere. Yeah, I think on just about any turn card I'm shipping with Shane's hand. That's definitely one of them. Brick of a card.
You look your left hand.
It actually looks like Austin has a little bit more than the graphic is showing here. I can see 4 stacks of red. Regardless, if I was Shane, I would still ship it.
Come on.
Yeah, all in. There it is. I like the play. I like it. Puts jacks, 9s, 8s in like a miserable, terrible spot, or ace 10 in just a horrible, horrible spot. As Shane has all the overpairs here, stone faced, giving Austin the stare down. Austin thinking this one over. Definitely a rough spot to be in. By no means a snap call. Though it's so hard, like your opponent, like, you know, Shane, given the action pre, this is probably why I would have just jammed pre-flop. You don't have to face tough decisions later. And with all that dead money, your jam is gonna get credit offered enough that it'll take it down. Definitely don't envy Austin by any means with the hooks. Does put in what is essentially a crying call, and we are going to go 2 times, it sounds like. 2 times. Just fine.
I got that one.
Ace on, I'm sure. Ace 9, not yeah, Jack's going to pick up second board. Ace on top, and these players are going to chop up $65. Shane was well behind on the flop, but spiked one on the river. Or excuse me, on the turn card. Spiked it on the river. Could have gotten all of Austin's stack, man. They ran it 2 times, and we are going to make the dealer chop this one up. $33 profit to each player.
Have to shove there, huh? Have to shove.
Kind of have to.
Definitely have to.
I mean, actually, you probably thankfully did, otherwise you got stuck.
Huh?
You probably thankfully did, otherwise you see the
Oh
river
yeah,
and get stuck.
that's true, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, I probably just fold.
Yeah, you fold. Then you lose.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Good in. That's a hard call.
Great.
25.
Here in the hijack, Jack 10 of spades, pretty standard open, I'd say. Jack 10 is great. Can hold up 3 bets exceptionally well, also. Anytime that Jack 10 hits a straight, it's always the nuts, unless there's a 4-liner on board. And Luke gonna take this one down when he just flopped. I didn't even see flop, just straight flop clubs, man. Jared, right color, wrong suit. Gonna let those go.
Is that?
That's the one you wanted, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Unfortunately.
It's okay. I'm just gonna stop doing the 20. I don't want to support it. No, I'm trying. Big
Bryson with ace-9 off. Good enough for a raise to $30 in the hijack. Austin in the cutty. 8-6. I like the flat call. He'd certainly defend 8-6, facing hijack open. Louise now getting a pretty solid price with the trays.
Am I straddled?
I'm surprised we saw him fold there, honestly. You're getting a price there to set mind, even out of position.
Very much
Your
so.
implied odds are like super good if you do hit a set.
You don't have to tell him that. He
I
knows.
have nit bucks in here.
And Lottie going nowhere in the blinds.
You got
Yeah,
the nit bucks.
I mean, even playing out of position, like you're not going to be faced with too many rough decisions later on. Like I would much rather flat pocket threes than something like King Jack.
Can't see a second deal yet either, have you?
Threes would have whipped anyway, so good fold. Top pair best kicker for Bryson, though 8-6 has like a boatload of equity. Backdoor spades. Gutter ball.
Whatever, go ahead.
Double gutted.
Hold it.
Makes just a flat call. Lottie with a pair and a backdoor spades. We're going to see some money go in on this pot. Let's go. 3 ways to the turn. Give me a spade of some kind. Give me like the 3 of spades. Good enough.
Massage.
Not really. I would have loved to see a spade, so we could keep Lottie in. But Bryson's still maintaining top pair. That is really not the card you want to see.
On the street.
Pretty unlikely, though, that your opponents are going to have a straight. But there are a lot of 2 pair combos that are available. So I would probably check this one back. Though I definitely don't fault him at all for going for a little bit more value from any 9x, hard draws, straight draws, etc. And I guess you don't really want to give a free card to 2 opponents.
Nice.
It's pretty close either way.
Oh, I can see that.
It's close. It's all,
Austin, I still don't think he can go anywhere yet.
I don't have to go to work.
Now a pair and a straight draw, open-ended.
I am. Going out to my gear.
Oh, to be young.
I'm way older than you.
You know, let me take your my hair out.
And he does put it. I love the raise. The raise is so good here. I love it. 325. Third of his stack. Bryce. Lottie obviously got well out of the way. And Bryson in a really rough spot here. This is not ideal. You have a bluff catcher now, and you still have one on the river. Even if you bring 2 pair or trips, you still have a bluff catcher. So this is rough. I would probably just
I used to
fold.
have shorter hair than this guy.
Yeah. Just cut mine.
Faded on the side.
They usually have pretty like long hair.
This is probably why I would have checked and then check called.
Too hot out there.
I know, I was tied back.
We did see a sub there from Mr. Graypath. Thanks for the sub, buddy. Probably seeing this monster of a hand play out
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But I don't want
and said it's good enough for a subscribe.
by the water.
And I would agree with you.
Look at auto post. You're not going to miss anything.
Deuce on the end. Bison with the best hand. Probably got one of the best river cards. Oh, no, the hearts came in. Terrible river card.
I
What am I saying?
I know my legs are like going like
Yeah, I
this.
think Austin can bluff. This is like a top tier bluff spot,
It has to have pom-poms.
which is about any 2 cards. And on top of that, he has like the single best hand to do it. You block. Oh, wow. The dude. Bryson he is turning his hand into a bluff here, man.
This is the 1-2
With
fight.
the ace of heart blocker,
Not 2-5.
he is turning his hand into a bluff on the end. Unbelievable. Wow, what a play, dude. What a hand. That was awesome.
I'm not too sure about myself on the river,
Flip the
but
script on Mr. Austin.
That's the thing I suggested.
Wow.
10 so that it
That
doesn't
was
go
awesome.
Yeah, so we got it all over.
That's one of my favorite hands I've ever seen on TCHLive. It was so unique, such an interesting dynamic, and the exact combinations of hands that the players were holding made it
good job. I'll take it.
such a cool spot. Wow.
Bye, bye.
It was 25
I only made it
call.
25.
Yeah.
I flopped second set, middle set.
Set over set.
I flopped middle set with on a
Ace of hearts.
2-spade board.
King 9 deuce.
Yeah, king nine deuce.
I just needed the
I
dot.
had kings.
You checked me.
Oh man, that was such a good shove on the river. That was awesome. I mean, he had the best hand, but he turned into a bluff, dude. It was so good. I love that. Austin, Jack 10 offsuits. Gonna open that up. Luke just flat calling the ace queen. Dante flat calling ace 5 of diamonds. Probably could have seen some 3-bets in there, though we are going 3 ways to the flop here. Everybody a little or Luke and Dante a little higher in their range than would be typical.
I checked.
Paired
I did
board.
one, I got the
A lot of paired boards tonight. Super, super dry. Austin's, I think even against 2 players, you could barrel it. I mean, there wasn't a 3-bet free. You can still barrel it pretty liberally. He would have certainly gotten 2 folds from these exact holdings and a queen on the end. Luke had the best hand and still maintains it when he spikes 2 pair with an ace kicker.
That was my board. I pulled a 7 deuce. I'm the big one for $20.
Only the 7 deuce were on.
We should be playing the 7 deuce game and I would have won.
I was gonna play 6-9 just for the chat.
When you take this pot down,
70s twice, and we're not playing the game. One time I'm like, thank God.
Give me some like fucking last year.
Cold call. I got 25 raise.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little more 3-betting here than
Yeah, this isn't a lip call game.
Yeah.
This is a everybody gets in the pot like 5 ways every time.
Meatloaf says, still waiting on that 8-deuce bounty. Yeah, you and me both, sir.
That's the way it's supposed to be.
Ooh, how about 8-3? No, he folded.
Can't be getting in there weak.
Luke, very playable ace-deuce of spades. Gonna open that up. I think you could probably flat with the queen-jack offsuit there. So not unreasonable, just let it go. It doesn't play super, super well with those. And he probably just knew that Luis was gonna 3-bet with 9-5 with spades.
Didn't look either.
So Luke has a pretty natural call here in position.
Let's go through all the rest of the cards and see what they want.
And a huge flop, massive flop. For Luke, spiking top and bottom. And Luis going to put out the barrel here, half pot, representing range. Though once he sees this flat call, he's not gonna love it. Probably not gonna go for the double, unless the board gets significantly scarier. That's not the card to do it. Does check it on over to Luke. 2 pair, aces up. Certainly good enough to go for value against a lot of ace-x clubs, etc. But no value to be had as Luis had. Nothing but 9 high and a dream.
Well, if you straddle, you get position on me.
He might have
Always
big
have to
stack.
Not pre-flop.
He
You
just
don't.
want a big
This spot, I think.
At pre-flop, you don't have position right now.
I thought last act to be reopened. In what world are you looking for out here under the gun? I mean, your first act.
No, pre-flop, I mean, you
Yeah.
don't have position. You don't get to 3-bet me.
No, I get the 4-bet.
That gets to be no bet.
There's 1 bet better.
I forgot to put the 95 nit bucks on the side.
Lightning maybe.
Let's put them over here.
Luke limping in and Dante raising 5 big clubs in the cutoff over the limp. Probably goes just a little bit bigger. So it's probably fine. Luke calls the 15. It looks like he checks over. Mr. Dante is going to barrel this paired board. I'm often a big advocate for barreling paired boards. This really isn't one of them. It's far too connected. The opponent could have far too much on this board. And Dante now playing the board. Probably can't call against Luke. He loses to any ace high. So 5-3 not going to be good enough.
I should have believed in the 9
Let's see, what did he show? What did Mr. Luke show?
Chop pot to me.
I didn't even get to see it. Looks like he showed a bluff, maybe queen high, so barreled him off the chop.
Here's our five.
Oh, Seth, yay.
5.
Don't worry, we can still get it all in on the flop.
Let's go. Pop, pop, pop.
Hey, Jordan.
Hey, Seth.
How many whites?
Let's do this.
He's in, right?
We are getting another dealer swap in there. Dealer swap's a lot more common down here in Austin for the live stream game. And as a result, we are going to do yet another PLO bomb pots.
Yeah, I'll take one. 25, 30.
You having fun back there? Oh, I thought you said right. Should I down the ball? Hold 10, I'm hungry too. ELO or hold 'em?
ELO, one board.
12 board.
We did I was in place last week. We played 5 card with 3 boards. It was only 6 of us, but it was still
That sounds fun. I want to play that.
5 cards, 3 boards.
How long did that take?
Not long.
Fun is one.
It
of
wound
those
up being
sports.
heads up, and it was 2/3 chop.
It just would take me so long to figure out what I had on each board.
It takes me so long now.
Like for me, it's
I always have to check because I just don't.
Like for me, it's got to be ultimate high, ultimate low if it's going to get fancier than just the 4 card.
Oh.
I'm checking.
Check around the Dante. Check.
Ace King 9 on the board. Let's see what everybody wakes up with here. Checks all the way around. Yeah, I like the checks from everybody here. 6 on the turn, giving Jared a set. Certainly good enough for a bet. Kings and 9's gonna get out of the way. I think that's fine. Dante calling with top pair, good kicker. We're now going heads up to the river. Jared. Oh, and a club draw as well. Not club draw. Picks up 2 pair. That might give Jared a little bit of extra money here, but I'm surprised. Jared checks it back. I guess Broadway did get there. Yeah, perfectly fine check. Obviously, I can see the hands, so you know it's unfortunate he did put out a bet because he might have gotten called light for a little extra value, though. I think that ultimately is the correct check, often enough.
You're good.
Big one.
Hey Seth, I'm gonna have 200.
Riding it.
Monk's Band, I think it was a $10 bomb pot. I think there's 80 in the middle to start. As Dante starts the action, raising up to $20, ace 6 offsuit and a hijack. As Jared wakes up with the birds. What's in the 3-bet? It's the snap. Yeah, snap fold, 3-bet snap fold shows the nuts. You hate to see it. Ray Balzer says, "Where's all the money on this table?" I don't know, man. Everyone's got a pretty good stack. This is a 1-2-5 game. I mean, people have like some people have like 2 to 3K in front of them. I'd say that's a pretty solid amount of money for the stakes that we are seeing them play.
Yeah.
500.
Straight up.
How much can I add on?
I'll find out. Oh, you being sarcastic.
No, just how much?
Raise it 20. I thought you were being sarcastic. Oh, fool, because you just did, so.
Well, it was only 200.
I know, but I thought.
Because I had 200 in my head.
That's why I thought you were being sarcastic, because you just did it. 20. Sorry, half the point. Raise is 85. Fold. But don't say, I'll find out.
Alright.
Bryson waking up aces of his own, and Dante with a much more defensible king-queen offsuit in position does make the call. Though whiffs the board pretty hard. Aces was still with an overpair. Definitely mandatory bet here. Hey, it's actually not even unreasonable to mix in some checks on like a board where you're so nutted and you've got this much of an overpair. Though Bryson did elect to go for value, $110 worth, not good enough. King Queen offsuit goes straight into the muck.
100.
How much do you have?
Just kidding, 200.
I was about to say, I'd imagine it's 185 now.
Yeah, no.
Wyatt Chapman says, "I love this stream, baby." Thanks, Wyatt. Appreciate you tuning in all the time.
Like 17? So it can get up to
I'm
like
very
19?
dejected right now.
Only up
Yeah, I am my stack.
It's only up to 75% of the big stack.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out that number. Is that 19 right now?
I'm sure she has her calculator back there.
The big stack?
No, that's 75% of the big stack. Is it like 19, 2,000, something like that?
Make it the big stack.
It's whatever his stack plus 185 is.
I think it's yours.
I'm talking about his stack.
I was trying to find that out, but he didn't want me eyeballing his stack. That's why I guessed.
Phil, yeah.
And he's like, don't look at my stack.
I can just come over there and count it down.
Yeah, he'll just come over and start.
Yeah.
Dante limping in 9-7 of clubs.
I'm not playing a lot of hands.
I'm not playing a lot of hands.
Well, I think you're not.
Sorry, I thought I was still waiting on my guy over
I
here.
played them all before you got here.
I'm trying to be at 70%.
Good job. I was like 30% last night, which is pretty decent.
Yeah, usually at 30.
25 to 30 is like my sweet spot.
I'm totally below the line tonight.
Probably.
This is nothing new, Lottie.
I was above the line last night.
Yeah, you were like 20-something% last night.
Looks like we saw a limp battle here. Luke, once again, man, how many times is he gonna have fives tonight?
I'm above the
Hasn't hit a set with one of them.
Just what we wanted to hear. You can fold the rest
Shane
of
gonna
the
bet outs. Open-ended, Dante going nowhere, middle pair.
I mean, I would have
King on the turn does not improve Shane, though he is going to continue barreling, which I like.
There you go, sir.
bet 50.
Dante's still going nowhere, man. Looking him up lights with the sevens and a 4 on the end is going to give Dante the check mark. Shane might give this one up. Maybe he's thinking about it. He can get a queen to fold, though it does go check check, and Dante going to show the 7. Good enough. Shane saying, "How could I miss all of those outs? You had too many outs, sir. That's why you missed."
With some gusto, I'm not folding.
Thank you.
I was hoping to slow him
I
down.
mean, in reality, any $200 bet would be like,
Oh,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
probably. Anything under 100, I call.
Well, I was on a straight draw and I thought the 4 gave it to me. But,
Maybe if you
it
misread
didn't.
his hand, you could have accidentally bet more than 200.
It didn't.
I bet 7.
Right.
Hold, 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 hold. Call. Raise 25. Fold.
Jared limping in a 7 off in the cutoff. Brian going to raise over that to 25.
Call.
Shane defends his blind, 6-5 offsuit, and Jared stuck in the middle, coming right along. Three-way flop, ace in the door. How about another one right behind it? Jared, great flop for him, though not really one that he can get too much value from. He's going to check
35.
all over to Bright, unless Bryson bets at it, which I think Bryson should be betting at it, given that he has the range advantage pre. And once Jared calls here, though, the only thing that you have any fold equity against is a jack. Clubs still probably aren't folding, so I like his decision to check give up, and the front door flush draw comes in, as well as some Broadway draws. But Jared still going to bet out here value with his ace. Brian going to snap fold the king 9, and we are moving on to the next one.
did not have an ace. Seeing his face, does that piss you off?
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
Just have a very punchable face.
It's most people from West
That
Virginia.
heavy?
It's just one card.
It felt heavy. Feel a lot of pain on my side. Only one person's ever played it. Who's that? My dad. Real. 35. Old. How does it feel to get drugged?
Not so good, not so good.
Jared gonna wake up two ladies of his own.
Yes.
Yeah.
Call.
Wrench knuckles.
Opening up to $35. Austin flat calling eights on the button. Luke in the middle. Ace 4 of diamonds as well. Three-way to the flop. 3 of the shorter stacks at the table. Ace in the door, man. Just the like the single worst flop. And Luke gonna check over his top pair. Jared snap checks his queens,
Oh, no, I
man.
think that was
Jared
probably-
has not
might be a
been
little longer
having
than that.
best of luck.
I'll take
Austin pocket eights.
Bet 25.
Checks it back. Oh wow. How about? Oh wow. Yeah. Things quickly change on the turn card. Jared spiking it, man. Puts in the raise immediately, hoping that his opponent has 2 pair of some sort, club draw, etc. Maybe even a set.
Alright.
Doubtful,
Hour.
but typically, hopefully 2 pair that he gets more value from.
How late is it going?
Live 20.
How late is this going?
Wanna raise it?
How late is this going?
I assume the usual.
Which is
11.
11. Okay.
10:45 and 11.
Well, I'm officially in trouble. I told her it was over at 10.
Yeah, it changed a couple weeks ago. He's gonna beat you. You haven't been on in a hot minute.
Yeah.
They're starting at 7 now to be
Yeah,
West
yeah.
Coast friendly.
Where's it from?
Well, it's also just.
He doesn't have a card. That's a bummer.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
It wasn't your
That
turn.
should be mine.
It's also just. It's easier to make it happen too. Right?
Like,
It's way
Yeah,
easier for
coming from
people.
work and
Yeah.
everything, yeah.
Threw that way.
you're intruding on my RFID. Those Diamondback units are kind of sick.
Yeah, I like them.
I like that they're beating the Dodgers. Shittiest team in baseball. Beating the Dodgers.
What a liar.
I said I was gonna raise it, I got pocket aces.
Well, you said you were wrong. Period.
$20 straddle. Dante calling. Jack 8 offsuit. Louise calling in the blinds. Ace 9 of diamonds. Lottie going nowhere with the suited king, and Anderson's going to check his option in the straddle. Playing a pot in position from the straddle. Always great. 10-3-3. Complete and utter whiff of a board.
Bet 30.
Luis backdoor diamonds. Ace high. Gonna ow.
Thanks, buddy.
Ow. Sorry, I just hit my elbow on my desk. Gonna lead out here and take this one down immediately.
It is. Came to you, man.
I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, once everything started opening back up, my other hobby.
Third point. Power.
Poker. And they announced this game. I'm like, oh, awesome. But now that I know the stream also starts later, I'll probably be back on Thursday more often.
I liked it when it started earlier.
The only downside for me is that it's less likely I stay after. Because it's late.
Yeah.
All 1 out of 5 times.
Yeah.
I like it 'cause I can play after after work.
Raise
I
to
don't have to,
30.
like,
Cool.
ask off or leave work early. I also did like when I wasn't working that it would end early.
3 players.
But when I'm at home, I'm like, oh, awesome, it's on late. I get to watch it until I go to bed.
You watch all the streams?
Most of them, like, I'll have it on in the background. I'm not like super invested, but most weeks I have it on. And I'm like,
William flop top 2 pair here against Shane's ace queen. How in the world did this check around on the
75.
flop?
75.
Lottie gonna lead out here. Anderson 7 deuce.
yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah, gonna let that one go.
Yesterday was the exception.
Shane ace queen on the button. Just a flat call.
The one time I could have watched Jalen play back.
3 on the end.
Have it on at this point.
It's probably gonna go bet in a flat call as well. Lottie.
Should've been at home taking notes like this.
I bet out 300. Oh, dude, what an awesome bet. I actually love this bet, man. This is awesome. Your opponent's gonna have a lot of, you know, Jack 10 or something to check the flop. Shane is just like at the near the top of his flop checking range, but how can you fold given the action? Makes the crying call, dude. And 2 pair. Lottie saying, I just owned your face, sir. Give me the absolute max, dude. On the river, at least. That is awesome. Good bet, Mr. Lottie. I loved it.
Thank you. Slump over for this.
What's that?
Slump over.
It's over.
Down.
Swing, I mean, the wise one's pretty good. I mean, the cash games.
I offered him, she's like, no, I'll just play for you. So now I'm just
Like, I mean, like,
completely
I booked a
fucked.
massive win last night. I booked a massive win last Wednesday in
And
Dallas.
then an hour later,
Yeah,
and this
dude.
fucking shit
So I-
down.
Oh, yeah, but before that,
Nothing,
you were
nothing.
like,
It was,
on a
it
down
was
swing.
going, it was going
fucking
awful,
I've
yeah.
never seen a place that
Like,
has no
June was a terrible month, and,
Back home, I guess I was like 4 in the morning if I want to. June's like
Still
the
like-
best month ever.
still like a disappointing number of like tournament tricks for me and the way they're
There you
happening,
go,
but
Taco Bell,
like
if
the
they
cash
want to
games
accept
at
orders.
least are making up for it.
Man, people are full of the pre-flop nuts. Don't they know they got to get in there with 8 deuce offsuit? Am I right, Meatloaf? Am I right or am I right? Austin opened up King 9 of Hearts, $25.
No, you cash the difference.
Dante on the button, gonna defend. Perfectly reasonable defend. King 10 dominating King.
Like, in cashing 10% of the time really sucks. Like, you're gonna be losing money.
Ace Queen 9, 2 spades.
You wanna be,
In and out. You always
Austin gonna bet bottom pair range advantage, getting a call from King 10, perfectly reasonable. Spade on the turn. Dante loves that card. Austin likely does not, though. That being said, he is going to double barrel here. Probably like to see a raise from Dante, actually, on this one.
I haven't won
5 on the end
swag.
brick.
I don't have any.
Austin with the check mark right now.
10:45. Yeah, 10:45.
Checks it over, giving Dante all the room he needs to run a bluff here. I think you'd have to make it pretty big to get Austin to fold. He does check, give it up, shows the 9, and Dante maybe a little remiss there, saying that's probably the single hand that could have gotten you to fold in that spot.
Probably barely above the
This is like
line.
the first time all night I haven't been on hold.
Dante expects to win everything.
Well, I don't expect to win every
He does.
tournament, but I,
Not the last 4.
I didn't see those.
I like to, get slightly better results than I've been seeing. Dallas last Saturday could have done a lot better for me. Like I got what was basically a min cash, but like there's like 2 different runouts where I'm on the final table with a bunch of chips.
Just saw a sub there. I missed it. Let me go back and look. Thanks for the sub. Pool Players 21. I misread that at first. I was like, I don't know if I should say that one. Anderson opened up the 8s in the blinds.
Yeah, that's the
No love, no value to be had, and we are moving on to the next one.
I flop the nuts straight, I get
Anderson
it.
back at it with the massage, man.
It's too careful.
Got a lovely line. I'm so confused. Are we still in this hand?
Especially in those tournaments where the blinds go up.
We have a lovely line of professional masseuses here, all licensed massage therapists. So you can get a nice, relaxing massage as you play. Get stiff at the table sometimes.
Fold, fold, fold,
Ninja says, what's the buy-in for 125 TCH? On this stream, it is $500, but we're going to get back to that in a minute. Luke, limp pocket queens. Anderson wakes up with red aces. And Austin, dude, put in the 3-bet, it looks like. Oh, no, okay. Oh, I thought he said he 3-betted 5 deuce. Luke putting in the limp raise here. Anderson got to be loving his entire life. Puts in the 4. He's thinking Luke is going to have... Wow, I'm surprised Anderson didn't just jam. Maybe he was in massage land. You know, when you get in a massage, sometimes you just grab chips and throw them in. But Luke now wondering, what did I just walk into with the queens? He's basically got a shove or fold. There's no point in just flat calling. Puts in the all-in and a snap call. Anderson, maybe a little redemption for his birds tonight. King went down in flames going against them earlier.
Alright, two's good.
And I think Luke is unfortunately on the wrong end of the cooler here. We're going to see a run out. Jack 6-6. Excuse me, Jack 6. You know what I meant. No help to the queens and none to come still. Running it 2 times. Still has 2 outs for the queens. Oh my god, and he spikes it on the river, dude! Wow. I almost said something, but I was like, well, I am often wrong on these runouts. Luke spiking it, getting his $8. I'm sure he is happy with that result.
Don't
Anderson
ask me, it's just once.
all the way, made it all the way to the river before that queen came out, man.
You can take all that shit down.
It's good for eating.
No, it's not.
Hey, thanks, brother. No, it really is. Hey, what's the guy's name? Nine Eyes?
Yeah,
I thought, you know,
He's probably sucked to play with. Good for team.
Oh, he's still not doing anything else.
Doesn't seem like a very nice person.
Who?
Sue.
Fuck that clown.
I actually talked to the dealer at Delta and he said
which Wilkes fan are you talking about?
the 9 high like the
Oh. That's good. So many good ones. That live at the bike, quad 6 is one of my favorites.
And he says, like, I'm going to slow play my quads. He just tells everybody.
Wait,
he
It's
has
like,
quads.
what do I need to win?
Here's the 10-9 of clubs on the button.
Versus, pretty
Pretty
good, pretty
natural
high
open.
vote.
Love seeing 10-9 of clubs. Very beautiful hand. Getting a flat call from Bryson, the big blind. Mystery.
heads up.
Mystery cards. And how about just flopping a flush for Anderson? Dude, running good the past few hands.
Bet 30.
Check 2. Gonna continue on this board. Bryson.
Has quads.
Have to let his hand go.
Gotta mix it up.
Anderson not gonna be able to get much for flopping the flush there.
Yeah, I think it's fine as long as you're like saying you have them sometimes when you don't.
I feel like I'm missing something in the chat.
They get no action, you know.
Live then. 5, 10. Fold, fold, fold,
I feel like my VPIP was high and then just,
fold, square,
You just stop
yeah,
getting
just
cards.
started getting cards, like not even marginal ones. I don't think I played a single marginal game.
5. Go.
Seeing a three-way flop here. Jared opening up 7-5 off on the button. How about a king in the door for Austin? And just the world. 2 spades right behind it. Shane with the nut spade card.
That's 80.
Austin gonna bet about half pot. Looks like that was a dong lead there. Shows I had everything in the entire world on that board. I would have liked to check, preferably.
There we go, power hour.
5, 10. That's
20.
5, 20. It's open, Will.
40.
Live
I
40.
was about to be like, I just
Power
got
hour.
baited so hard.
No.
You've seen my luck in the last 2 streams.
Listen, man, I just gotta give everybody a chance.
I did a Louise.
5,
Strata
40.
one time.
Well, I meant I need
Yeah.
this.
I got triple strata one time for the chat. They never saw that coming.
Fold. Fold. Fold.
This is an unbelievable waste of money, unless I win.
Yeah. That's typically the case.
Pulls all the way to Shane.
Raise
Blind battle
15.
here. Wow, what a how many straddles are we seeing right now? All the way up to the 40 right now.
I fold.
I wonder it folded all the way around. Shane opened up to 115. I like the raise with pocket threes. You certainly don't want to limp and see a huge pop 4 ways out of position.
I get to see a lot.
Lottie going nowhere. Ace 7 of hearts. Didn't look like Shane was very particular to see Lottie call. Probably gonna have something. Pocket threes. Gonna continue barreling on this board.
That was a waste of money.
Thank you.
Like down and stuff. 10 deuce suited. I was like, oh, wow. Amazing.
20.
Live 10, live 20. Live 40. 80's open.
Yeah, keep it.
Wow, didn't expect that from you.
Not a drunk in there.
So they're right there.
6 people on the line.
Needed one more part to keep going.
Is there stuff in there? Fuck it, I'm good.
Yeah. Last night.
What's in there?
Beer,
There's a couple
shots.
shots. Yeah.
Is it cold?
No, it's from last night. Somebody didn't put ice in it today.
Yesterday. It's probably like
Can you drink on the stream?
cold.
Yeah, I drank like a fish last night. What are you talking about?
I don't know.
You can have whatever in that.
I don't want the warm beer.
It's not warm, it's probably just
Room temperature.
Room temperature.
That's
much is
okay.
it? 40 by the way.
40?
I'll have some
Live
beer.
40.
No need to be putting hard
No, I'm
liquor.
telling B. Tell Bryson.
King Jack of spades for Bryson here in the cutoff. I'd say it's good enough. For a bring in over all these limps, attack that dead money. Austin on the button, ace queen clubs, dude. Oh man, this is a awesome spot to put in a 3-bet, huge bet too. Probably gonna be like, I would probably go up to 400, 380 at the minimum.
Raise to 3.5.
I haven't looked yet, but I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, more than like odds.
325.
He ran this
Well, actually, given a stack cut, I actually like this size a little bit better.
fold, nothing fold.
You don't need to go like that big, but there's a lot of dead money to pick up for Anderson, dude. Waking up, big slick. Oh, dude,
Figure that out, man.
Well, you know, I don't want to.
this is such a spot. I love that they
control.
wake up with these right here at the end when they're putting in all this straddle.
Raise to 900.
Did he just ship it? I was about to say, I think the only size that really makes sense here is to just. Oh no, he did bet 900. Okay. 900. King Jack says nope. I think Anderson was definitely attacking Austin's
We'll find out.
stack size here. $900 bet. Austin in a spot, man. He's like, really? Anderson just waking up with the nuts here, 4-betting me in this spot? Like, how do you fold? That's the crazy part to me. It's like, how do you fold in this spot? It looks like Anderson could potentially be doing this just to target all that dead money that was out there. Man, such a rough spot. I do not envy Mr. Austin in this huge pot.
I have a really good move.
It's 900 right now, but
If you're happy, I'm here.
I didn't, huh?
I thought you were talking to me.
Oh, I was muttering to myself.
Sorry. Take your time.
It's such a terrible spot to be in for Austin, man. Oh, like how do you fold? How do you fold in this spot? It's so close. The pots were bloated because of the double straddles. SPR was going to be super reduced post flop, and he does make the call, dude. Wow.
If I lose, I lose. All
Insane,
good.
man. And just loving life right now, waking up, dominating, dude. Austin a 30% dog. Spikes the queen on the flop, man. That's wow. And the 10 on the end. Ace king going down in flames. Austin.
Good call.
The $1.4 thousand profit there. Yeah, Anderson just not. Wow. You just love seeing that call all day. And right there on the flop, boom, spikes it. Queen in the just right then and there. No sweat at the very least. At least it wasn't an ace, you know. And then the queen come on the river. Man, that is rough. And it's like the one time we've seen a pot get run once as well. Huge pot in a 1-2-5 game. 2.7 thousand. Anderson, night, not going the way he envisioned it, I'm sure. AI just subscribed. Thanks for the sub. Al, maybe? Yeah, it's probably Al. How do you get just the name Al? I figured that would be taken by like 1,900 other YouTube accounts. That's pretty unique.
Nice hand. That's the kind of downs we have been on lately.
Yeah. Which straddle my mind?
Mine's
the
right.
first.
Mine's right. Thank you, Austin.
Oh, look, I've straddled away my legs.
Live 10, live small blind.
Oh, and I took the one flop with you where I missed.
Yeah, I had threes on that one, so I figured I was pretty much going to be able to bet win almost, I don't know.
Or not be lying about that.
I had overs and backdoor. Like, not good enough. Well, overs, 2 overs to threes.
Yeah, I would say
Ace
so.
X of hearts.
I would say overs to threes.
Raise to 100.
Luke getting his own aces here. Loving seeing all these straddles going on right now. Makes it like a full 5x, probably a little bit too big. Though he was trying to get the absolute max there for the birds in position, but folded all the way back around. I've seen aces pop up a lot tonight, man. It's awesome. Joseph Anderson. Didn't you subscribe earlier, bud? Did you unsub and resub? It might have been a different Joseph. But thanks for the sub anyways.
Live 10.
30 minutes to get it all in a couple more times.
I have faith.
I do too.
Nice. Fold. Fold. Call. Fold. Raise to 40. Fold.
I call.
Call. Call. Three players.
Luke mixing it up, man. 5-3 of diamonds in the cutoff. Gets a call by King 10 suited and Ace 8. King 10 with the King High flush draw. Luke with a gutter back toward diamonds. And it looked like Dante led out on this board. And Luke has a pretty easy fold here, I'd say, when getting donked to on that kind of flop. I'm sure he probably would have c-bet himself had it checked to him. And then he could reevaluate on a turn and river.
They will tell him fuck off and not drop him.
Post them, please. Five to go. Call. Fold.
Jared, Black Snowman here under the gun. Is going to limp in for 5. Shane, super nice hand. King Queen of diamonds.
Fold.
Gonna put in the raise.
Call. Three players. Check. Check.
10-6 deuce. Checks all the way around. Queen action card on the turn. Shane and Anderson spiking top pair. Though Shane well out kicking Anderson, who leads out here from the blinds. Barreling right into it. Shane gonna call the 50, and we're seeing a turn river card 10. Pairs the board. Top 2 for both players. Kickers both play.
Call.
And Anderson going to bet 110 Shane with flicking in a call. And Anderson, yeah, man, the past couple of hands picking up the premiums and getting good hands, but unfortunately they're not holding up. At times, this is the way of the game.
You know, are a lot of like, thank you, believe it or not, Irish. They get it in
Yeah,
usually and get stuck that way.
That wasn't bad that time, but
No, you're, but usually. Live 10, live 20.
5 more.
Checks the live stream, please. Anderson is adding on 500. Hear that, Trevor? Thank you.
500?
Live 10, live 20. Fold. 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 Raise to 65.
Jared opens up 5-4 off in the third blind. Bryson, Queen Jack of spades. I think in a blind battle I'd probably 3-bet this hand, but it works just fine as a call playing multi-way. And Austin coming right along, King Queen offsuit. I like his flat call as well. Oh wow, what an action card. Queen on the flop. In a blind battle, this is there's probably going to be more money going into this hand than normal. Both players thinking that they have just a phenomenal hand with a blind battle. Everybody Bryson and Austin like slow played a little bit pre-flop. Not really, but as both hands still function just fine as a call. But it's hard to put your opponent out pipping you by 1 when you have Queen Jack. At this point, you're hoping your opponent has Queen 10, Queen 9 suited, Queen 8 suited. Especially because he's in the straddle. Bryson actually checks it over here. I think this... Oh, and it gets a check back. Wow. I'm really surprised. Guys, where's y'all's pot? The 3's kind of a bricky card. I think both players' hands kind of benefit from some fold equity against any ace X or club draws.
Bet 225. Call.
Bryson gonna bet here, gonna snap call. Austin gonna get some value on the end here with the best hand. And the 9 peels off and bricks all the draws.
I was just trying to steal there. Good job. You did well. That didn't help.
Oh, wow, I'm close to getting money this time. It's been a while.
Live 10. Live 10. Live 10. Call. Fold.
Luke just calling ace-6 of hearts, and Luis gonna raise up, dominating suited ace in the cutoff. Anderson flat calling small blind, Jack 10. Trying to get in there and get some of those losses back. Austin coming along in the straddle, it seems. Oh no, he folded. Graphics, man. Would have actually spiked top pair, which is funny. And turn trips. Yeah. Board pretty much whiffs everybody. I think this is going to be a scenario if you bet you win. Luke probably thinking it's ace high good here. Taking a stab. Getting a call from ace 7, which now has the check mark. Wow, look him up so light on the flop, or on the turn. But Luke going to double barrel here. I think this is the first bluff we've seen him run tonight. And Luis, man, like he didn't believe him on the turn. The queen doesn't change too much. Like it does bring in the backdoor spades, which is possible that Luke was betting a spade draw. So he is going to fold here, and he can't love seeing the queen either. Probably prefer to see something like a 3. Or another 9.
No, I kicked it ass when we saw it.
Did you? I wasn't with you.
I think you were. You were playing the TCHLive table. And he wound up like shutting it down and he lost a bunch and he wound up flipping for his entire whatever he had left. And then he pulled like an extra 3 or 400 out of the ball. I won all that.
Oh, that's tough. No, I goes.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's gonna probably scan in on those.
okay.
Fold.
Oh, I didn't really.
There's no way to work this reads.
Raise
You got
25. Fold.
Anderson
Call.
just picking up all the premiums, man. Getting ace king of diamonds here now on the button.
Well, no, I
And
entered that
2
one.
calls from players in the blinds. Oh, here we go. And spikes top pair. I wonder if anyone has a flush draw. Definitely possible and very likely in the blinds.
It wouldn't let me flip his
Anderson
flip,
betting 1/3 pots.
so that's why I entered.
No value to be had, it seems.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I was thinking about.
But he gets to take one down. Gotta love whenever
I
you're
got the 2 numbers.
winning all the small pots, losing the big ones. Sometimes that is how the session goes.
think of him a couple weeks ago where he seemingly flopped the straight and then folded.
Yeah,
But that's not what happens.
live 10. It's funny though to listen to them when they're
Yeah.
commentating. They don't know what's happening.
Yeah, they think something's going on.
They're like, what is Will doing?
Even I'm not that shitty.
When the cards are run.
Dante flat calls ace jack of clubs. Anderson in the cutoff going to open 6-5 offsuits, and Bryson waking up big slick of his own in the small blind. Probably going to put in the 3 bets. I like a size of like 140, 150s. Great, love it. 150 is actually perfect pot size bet.
Oh, they thought you were folding.
Yeah, which would have made no sense. Like I think flop and turn both and check through. And then like there was like a river that put up like a hard net board there and
Dante folds the ace jack suited, getting a call here
Tough out
from
to keep up a high production.
Mr. Anderson. Flops middle pair. He out flops ace king. And Bryson gonna go check here. I actually like his check a lot. This is not the best board for you. And you can a little more comfortably check call. He check raise? No.
Sure.
9 on the turn. Henderson not slowing down even for a second. Double barreling with his 5. Bryson now in a bit of a spot. Probably not going to be able to call twice. Wow, does call again.
Come on.
And Bryson, no way, man. Wow, awesome play with ace king, dude. That was so sick. He looked up Anderson so light, decided he didn't have it, and jammed it in on the river. That is awesome.
Honestly, don't know.
What a play, and Anderson is forced to fold his 5 in that spot.
5-10.
That was a solid donk jam on the river. I love that play.
I did get my nip box back.
I
I
am-
was worried about those.
I have not done the
I got 'em. I didn't
commentary
bring them
for TCH and Austin yet, but I gotta say I'm loving what I'm seeing.
A lot of card confusion.
Some monster players down here as well. Not that I expected any less.
Fold. Raise the 30. Call. Fold. 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 Replace. Check. Check.
Anderson and Jared with 2 overcards, and Dante. Wow, dude, just spikes the gutter. I mean, he's not going to get any value here, unfortunately, but it's just fun to see that happen. 10 in the end.
Bet flipper.
Dante got to put something out there now, man. Puts the bet out. Unfortunately, king and queen high. Probably not going to get it done. You hate to see it, but it's always nice to drag a pot there. One of Dante's first drags of the night, I believe.
1, 2, 5. Yeah, there we go. 20.
Live 10, live 20.
Hour.
Alright. They got me once again.
You knew it was coming.
I know, and I try to avoid it.
Well, maybe you win the pot and so we get one.
Live 20. Fold.
Should we trash or
20 to go. Live 20. Good fold. Fold. Call.
There it is, a deuce. A deuce is, dude, is this actually gonna happen? That would be so awesome. Meatloaf, are you paying attention? Are you in this right now? Oh, deuce on the flop. He's got the best hand. No, he doesn't. Wayne's got pocket fives. I don't think he's gonna hold up though if anyone decides to bet. Fives have a spade draw as well, yeah. And it spikes it on the turn. Man, I had a dream. 8, we finally saw a deuce get in there.
Check. Check.
25.
Live 40. Call.
Dante called. Oh man, he says, "Well, we don't have a spade, bud. There's no way."
Good?
But will it? Lonnie's gonna show the flush on the end. Dante, stone cold called with the 2, man. What a bluff catch.
Thank you, sir. I like the 3 blinds.
Live 10.
I don't have much
I don't like,
experience.
I wanted a deuce to win that hand so bad. Not even for the super chat, but just because.
Yeah, $1 doesn't really do much. There's
It's
no.
just annoying.
Yeah.
20 is available, Anderson.
Well, especially I don't have it well here to make change, so.
I got so close, like just to come that close and not get there, man. It's
Understood.
Live 10.
Yeah, I do.
Fold. 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 Raise to 30. Fold. Fold.
Luke opening up on the button here. Ace Queen offsuits. You love to see it.
Fold.
Beautiful hand on the button. Getting a call on the blinds.
Will check.
Flop checks through. 9 on the turn. Money with the diamond draw now gonna lead out on this card. I like it. And Luke going to have to fold his ace queen high there. Unfortunate. Not the way you want things to go when you get ace queen on the button.
Live 10. Dante.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we're still unsure. Live 10.
I'm tired.
It is funny. You just hold it straight out.
I know.
Well, you can tell it wasn't malicious at least.
I'm sure it's someone going, I castle.
In the chat.
That's my chaperone voice.
Oh, they were doing the Lottie voice last night.
Fold. Fold.
I heard that happens. I haven't seen the clip yet, but I hear some of these have
Raise
my
to
accent.
30.
You roll out.
Call. Fold.
It was pretty good. It's a little bit more New Yorker than you are. He was really heavy on that.
You can tell Will's been out for a while.
Shane opening up on the button, king 6, getting 2 calls here. One from Anderson with 10-3 in the straddle, man. Getting in there.
City, I'm from Long Island.
Flopping the best of it for Shane. It does decide to check it back, though. I think that's perfectly fine because there's an ace on the board.
Got 25. But Jared, on the other hand, you can tell he's still bossing.
Anderson actually going to bet out here now
He even texts
on this turn card.
True story.
Shane
He
flatting.
even texts like he's from Boston.
dawn.
He texts with the accent. Would you tell me?
7
other
on
day?
the end.
I gotta go.
Shane's got the check mark. And Anderson does decide to check, give up here. Shane now relatively certain by this point he's probably got the best hand, going to
Later, buddy.
bet out on this river card. Well played.
Lada.
I would have been like, what?
Later, buddy.
Later. At least you don't talk like that.
what, a Bostonian?
Easy kill, yeah. I think you get points every
Like,
10 minutes you
like the
watch.
math.
I finally got him to say something. Look at that. I finally got him to say something.
Long Island
Damn.
people are the worst.
There are a lot of awful people from Long Island. I'll agree. I'll agree there.
And most of them come from Boston.
Jared's been quiet this whole time. I finally got him to talk.
Oh my God, shitty.
But yeah, we're
I know.
pretty awful
He
people.
usually talks constantly.
I don't know why I just did
Yeah, race to 10.
That's it.
Yeah, just fold.
It was a
I got him
race
throwing
to
chips
10.
out, and I got him talking.
Easy rattle. You got me all fucked up now. No problem.
Dude, I was starting to get concerned.
Lottie man.
I gotta make it 40.
He's at ace king 4 or 5 times this stream. Gonna raise that up to Anderson, who doesn't seem to be going anywhere with the 4 deuce of diamonds.
Jared calls.
Getting in the middle, Jared calling
Are you staying after this?
in the
I stayed really late last night.
3 players.
great flop for Anderson's hand.
You're
Open-ended
a young man.
with the middle pair.
That's your 8. That's 25. Fold.
Can we change the game?
Lottie gonna check this one over. I like to check.
Heads up.
Anderson going to lead out. Lottie gonna flat call.
Bet 55.
Anderson going to double barrel on this 9 turn, betting 55. I like the size, nice small sizing. Blocker bet doesn't need to be huge. And if you had something like a flush, you'd probably bet this small as well, trying to get called by overcards, 1, hard X holdings, etc. And Lottie gonna go ahead and let it go here. Anderson taking it down on the turn.
Yeah, you're good now.
Sorry. Thank you.
I have the little draw on the overcards.
Raise to 20. Fold.
Endo Tater, what's up? Rick P, what's up, Tater?
Fold. Oh. Heads up.
Just running another one solo here on the Friday nights. Casting to you from Austin.
Bet 15. Fold.
It was that bad.
All I had an ace.
It was that bad. I had backdoor cards, maybe? Maybe.
Thank you.
I might have had a flush draw by the river.
I definitely had backdoor.
Huh, so funny. I had
Yeah.
Should've checked.
5, 10.
Yeah, if one goes on the turn, I might blast.
I might call. But I'll do the,
Yeah.
yeah. You got, all right, I'll raise. I love that one.
Can't just call here when I can't raise. That's the line.
Fold.
Yes, sir.
Raise to 45. Fold.
Dante, suited wheel ace in the hijack, raising that up to $45. And Anderson now, big slick yet again, dude. Wow. Putting in the 3-bet 180. Dante, very defensible hand here. Anderson's super short though, so I really would not even blame him for just shipping it in. Putting in the 4 bets. Does elect on the fold, which actually is really solid fold. Just knew Anderson had it this time, man. Big Slick.
Should just start ripping it every time.
But at least your hamstring won't hurt.
Killing these dad bros.
You gotta get a Theragun.
Huh?
Theragun.
I have one. It hurts too bad to even touch it. Never
Yeah, I don't think Theraguns work on torn hamstrings.
Oh, you have a torn hamstring? Race. I had that one.
Lottie, ace queen,
And I decided to race some.
raising it up over Dante's limp here.
After 3 false starts,
Bryson
I
needs
finally
3
went.
hearts in the big blind.
Halfway through was pop. I'm like,
There's certainly plenty of players I would 3-bet this hand, though. Or
they thought I was
players I would
shaking
3-bet this
'cause I
hand
was losing.
against,
I'm like,
though.
oh, real deal.
I did that once like 30 years ago.
Maybe not in this spot, and he's going to get 2 and a call behind from Austin, 8-7 off. Who flops huge, open-ended,
Don't do it.
How much money was on that?
Nothing.
and Lottie with top pair, best kicker.
Yeah,
See some money go in the middle here. The multiple players I'd like to see go like 40 bucks, 40, 50 bucks.
That's 50.
I went to the
There it
doctor, I was,
is.
like, crying when I was sitting
Like
down.
the size.
I don't have that much pride. I know a guy.
Austin obviously going nowhere, not just yet.
Here.
I
I live here now.
Heads up.
3 on the turn, stone brick.
Bonn, Germany.
Austin checks it over, Lottie,
You weren't expecting that.
150.
I was born in Bonn.
I knew that.
It's been, I lived there for 30
Good size,
years.
3/4 pot.
I was born in Germany.
I knew about San Francisco already.
Yeah, they're tired of doing. Houses are so cheap.
Not anymore.
Yeah,
Thanks to you.
The houses are so cheap. The culture's so cool.
Austin might be thinking about doing a check raise here, which would be honestly a sick play. Though he does elect on the fold.
Probably one of my favorite.
Lottie not giving him quite good enough odds to make the call. The hit is draw, so he lets it go. Solid.
You're tired of having to walk around the shit all the time.
Shit, well, I actually didn't live in San Francisco. I lived in Mountain View.
I mean, so someone throw a big bet out there. Buddy, I agree with you. I want to see some big pots.
Right next to Palo Alto.
I want to move to the worst.
See at least one more. It's pretty much tradition here at TCH for somebody to get stacked in the last 10 minutes of the stream.
I only know Cannon Beach, yeah.
Cannon Beach. Cannon Beach is
It's
super
really
nice.
cold and windy though. I mean, it's not like a beach.
I went to the winter like right after Thanksgiving.
I just like history.
So,
Finish is full. What do you want to take? Yeah, and you did.
raise 45. Fold.
Dang it, they got you.
Luis, 2 Cowboys. Gonna raise it up over Dante's limp.
Fold. Everyone folds.
And Dante limp folds to the raise here. Luis not getting what he wanted with 2 kings. Gonna take down a small pot. Pre-flop.
Would have been 9, 9, 10. I don't know.
I would have called
Bingo.
10.
If it was suited, I would
I
have.
had-
And if you would have called, I would have called.
I had Jack 8, so
We need each other's outs.
we were in trouble.
And I just said Cannon Beach was very nice.
I don't think the flop was coming good for us.
One of us.
I want to move back to West Virginia.
West Virginia.
Yeah.
That's still a state.
Yeah.
I love Austin. I like Austin. I live in Super Park.
I love
I did too,
West
but
Virginia.
I like, yeah. I like Austin. There's very few
Got a new
cities
sub there from Mr. Luke Brown. Thanks for the
Well,
sub,
I
buddy.
consider this, I consider Austin or I consider Denver. I'm leaving San Francisco.
I consider
Damn, you're a true California.
Raise
Well, I just looked up where do Californians move to, and that's.
So you're not trying to get away from Californians?
Jared opened up ace-5 of spades on the button. Looks like Bryson gonna put in the 3 bets. Ace-queen, certainly gonna be good enough often enough against your opponent's through range. I'm surprised we didn't see Jared maybe put in
I've lived in Austin for
flat
14
call there.
months now,
Price did make it.
and I want to move. Not
A
because
good
I just
sizing.
like Austin, but because I just want to try something else out.
Let's go with the ace-5. Could maybe 4-bet that sometimes, especially facing a button 3 bets.
I'm gonna leave the state if I leave.
Thinking about
Ranges might be slightly wider than normal, attacking a cutoff range.
No, that's where I moved first with New Broncos.
he got outbid on the boat.
3 more hands, including this one.
3 more hands?
Yep, including this one.
We're not gonna do
Two
another
hands
block
after
plus.
this.
We never did.
After the stream's over, we just make it double board.
Okay.
We'll just get a regular deck. It'll be like the very first thing we get.
Fold.
And I'll probably just get it all in.
Call.
Good, and get sucked out.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm
That's all
laughing
good.
at
I'm laughing at myself.
Raise.
Jared limping in, Jack 9 off. Austin on the button, gonna open it up. $30. Good enough for it. Dante, ace jack of clubs, gonna make just a flat call here.
Yeah, I
The,
grew up in
blinds.
Florida my whole life and moved to Austin.
Jared coming right along.
I want to go somewhere else too.
Wow, Jared just flops it, man. Just flops the nuts, checks it over. Ace on the turn, that's gonna get him some money.
Not at my
That's 50.
Really surprised to see Dante check here. Though Jared obviously got to go for some value. Wouldn't be, especially with an ace peeling off, I'd probably go a lot larger just to get the max value from anybody that happened to bank an ace. And you might get called light by some hard draws, etc. Of course, Dante makes a very easy call. Pairs the board on the river, doesn't change much. Jared gonna bet huge. Gonna snap call from Dante. Being shown the bad news, man. I flopped it, buddy. That is rough. What a turn card
My hand.
to get Jared what was arguably the max with Jack 9.
Live 10, live 20. Hey Jerome, 2 more hands including this one.
We could play the last one on the
2
button.
more hands including this one.
They really get to race you for the blinds.
Get more than 4 hours. You think they get 4 hours since you said that? Well, at least like switch you out halfway.
We'll use 2. We know they have 9, at least, if not more.
Jacks? You're talking about Jacks? She said she was going to come out and change.
On the one stream, everybody had a wife.
Yeah, I was like a couple times. No, she hasn't folded.
Call.
Dig.
Call.
Let's see if I can do anything. I check.
See, no harm, no foul.
Yes. Yes.
We got ourselves a straddle battle here. Louise just flat calling king queen and getting both players behind to come along. Flopping a gutter. Spikes it on the turn, just drills it instantly. Anderson's basically drawing to a chop here. Once Louise leads out, definitely not getting the odds. No reason to come along.
Last hand.
Glad I didn't raise.
Gotta love drilling a gutter ball and getting the minimum.
Last hand.
Here we go.
Live
Alright
10.
guys, and this is where we get it all in.
For the stream.
9-way all in.
I'll take the
Royal
other.
flush on the board. That would be something.
Live 10. Fold. Raise to 30.
Bryson, best hand in the deck. Pocket 7s.
Call. Fold. Fold.
We're just gonna flat call with the ace jack offsuit.
Really want to win this one, guys. Watch out.
Anderson coming along, 2 suited cards in the straddle.
I want what's going to happen completely different, I understand. Trying to will it into
3
existence.
players.
I check.
Check. Bet 55.
That's a terrible flop when you have 9 high diamonds.
Bryson going to bet out of his board with a 7 high club draw and a pair. Take that one down immediately. All right, guys. I think this is going to be the final hand of the night. Doing a PLO bomb pot right before the end. Getting in a little extra gamble while I get this all set up. Wanted to talk one more time. Brief shameless plug about the Beat the Heat Bad Beat jackpot that we're doing for the month of August. All the way till the end of the month, there's going to be a Bad Beat jackpot that starts at $30,000, steadily going up every day. And each day, the requirements for the Bad Beats are going to diminish. You can check that out, all the details, on TexasCardHouse.com. And if you are in any chair at any location, any Texas Card House, and the bad beat goes off, you're going to get a free $100 just for being in the room. Got to be clocked in, though. Got to be playing.
Floor.